Good morning.
No, it's not. It's
a
not.
morning. We're here.
So I post-game reaction was anger, which I started drinking, which I never drank. I started drinking just straight out of the bottle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I posted.
You're having yourself a night. I saw the instant reaction video.
I put an instant reaction video out where I was drinking in the instant reaction. I didn't know if they were going to be comfortable posting that, and they ended up cutting most of it out for time.
I could see a little bit of it, though.
Right, but I was literally drinking in the video, and then I was sitting there, and I was playing the bunt, the whole situation over and over in my head. I DVR the game, so I'm now watching it, and I'm looking at Castellanos, and the lead he's getting off second, and I'm on social media, and then I go from anger to I'm almost crying, and then apathy, and then 2 a.m, I finally fall asleep with the bottle like, kind of slumped over me, and I wake up at 5 o'clock this morning, and now we're here at Rally House on Baltimore Pike in Springfield, and it was an interesting way to lose a game, Ray Dunn.
An interesting way, an infuriating way, however you want to put it. I mean, it was just a disaster. I mean, that's an absolute disaster of a close right there. We can go into what went into the bullpen decisions, but really that bunt right there. I mean, you have no outs, a man on second base. You hand them an out, and you hand them an out the way that gets the runner on second out. And I'm never going to sign up for a bunt in that situation. I'm never in the world going to sign up for the bunt in that situation. And the reason why you're giving them an out when you are going against the bullpen that all week, the conversation leading into this was, well, you know what? Dodgers, great lineup. That starting pitching's been incredible. You get in that bullpen, you have an opportunity. That's what happened. You are giving an out to a bullpen that has been a disaster, that has shown you it's been leaking oil for weeks at this point. And you say, you know what, Dave Roberts, you screwed up. You didn't go to Sasaki. Instead, you went this time to Trinan, and we're going to hand Trinan an out. That is the mistake right there. That's the error right there to give them an out. I understand if it had been executed better, maybe in that world, you're going to get them on third, maybe even you have Stott at first. But in that moment, you're saying, hey, an out's cool here. And by the way, an out that's going to put Castellanos on third. It's not like you have a speedster on third that's going to score no matter what if you hit a fly ball. That's the biggest thing here. You handed it out to a bullpen that needs an out because it's not good.
Well, I'm glad you're angry. Because the anger, I'll get there in a little bit, probably.
I didn't know what I was going to be today. I thought I was just going to be distraught, but I'm still angry. Clearly, I didn't get enough out last night.
You didn't, and it's good. And that's what I want to hear from people today. 610-632-0975. The offense, non-existent. Starting pitching's good. Bullpen gives it up. Manager makes a questionable decision. Phillies lose, rinse, repeat. That's what happened last night. But so the idea to bunt, and you're playing for a tie, and he said it's almost like the football mentality. You're playing for a tie at home. If you're on the road, you're going for a win. The reality is that even if he does get to third base, like you mentioned, now he's 90 feet from scoring, and you just gave away an out. Now you're relying on Bader to either sacrifice fly or get a hit. You don't have a great fast runner on third base, and you're giving them an out. So if you were guaranteed to get a run because you were bunting somebody over to the third base, okay, yeah, I'll take the tie. But and by the way, I think it's important to note this. The Dodgers executed the play perfectly, and that's how they were able to get the out. If the Phillies do that, they're throwing it in the left field, or they're waiting and they're double clutching, or they're bobbling the ball, and the runner's going to third base. So give the Dodgers credit. Every play that they've had to make, they've done it flawlessly, and they've executed it. If Nick Castellanos is a better runner and he's able to get more of a lead and he's running with Mookie Betts to third base, he probably is safe. If they don't have Harrison Bader injured, they have a pinch runner they're going to be able to bring in the game who's a better runner and a faster runner, and he's probably safe at third base. But he still doesn't score, and you still need to get him in from third. Here's what happened in the ninth inning. The Phillies finally woke up. The Bats woke up. Citizens Bank Park, for all the people that want to blame the fans because it wasn't loud enough, was rocking. Castellanos did a great job getting the bat on the ball. Boom, they're right back in the game. Runner in scoring position, nobody out. And what you've done is you've stopped the momentum by trying to bunt the runner over. So I saw an analytic this morning. I think Barstool Philly tweeted it out. Analytics-wise, the better move is to not bunt him over. But it's close. It's close. It was like 43% to 41%. So it's close. But it matters the player that's up, the pitcher that's on the mound, and the guy that if you're picking anybody from the team that I would like up in that particular situation, Stott's right at the top of that list. He sees a lot of pitches. He's a left-handed hitter that can naturally move the runner over by pulling the ball. So he doesn't mind taking a walk, and now you have runners on first and second. He can easily drive a gapper or even a home run to win the game. At that point, it's a loser mentality to go for a tie. It's a loser mentality. You have 3 cracks to get a hit to tie the game. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. You gave them an out. And now you have to get the run in. You have to get the run in. Oh, but the top of the lineup's coming up. Oh, yeah, Trey Turner. Did anybody feel good about Trey Turner getting a hit in that situation? I know I didn't.
No, it's funny. You went from the bottom of the lineup to the top, and I felt better about the team when the bottom of the lineup was batting. When you went to the top lineup, it's like, oh, man, good for the Dodgers. They got to the top of this lineup. When have you ever said that? Ever, about any team, ever, that, oh, the top of the lineup's the one right now that's bothering.
Stott is one of the players in that situation that I would say I feel good with Stott coming up. He always gives you quality at bats. He knows when to pull the ball. He wasn't going to try to do too much, and we've seen him in big spots in the playoffs. Do it. The focus is going to be the bunt because, again, and there's a lot of other reasons why they lost, but the focus is going to be the bunt because, again, with Rob Thompson, in a playoff game where you have 0 to little room for error, he made the wrong decision again. It didn't work.
The reasoning is ridiculous. The playing for a tie as the home team, when you've already run through pretty much your entire bench at that point. You've got Stott up, nobody out, a runner on second, and you're like, you know what we need? With these next 3 outs, we just need to scratch across 1. Go for the win here. What do we do? Oh, yeah, let's play for a tie.
So let's hear from Rob Thompson. Sean Rodman back at the studio today. Let's hear Rob Thompson is explaining the reason for the bunt. Here it is.
Just left on left. We're trying to tie the score. I like where our bullpen was at based on as compared to theirs. So we play for the tie at home.
It seemed like the Dodgers were expecting. Was there any thought of taking it off after?
Well, Mookie did a great job disguising the wheel play. And we teach our guys if you see wheel, just go ahead and pull it back and slash because you've got all kinds of room in the middle.
Yeah, The first, soon after the first pitch was the ball, I said, all right, we'll take the bunt off. Take it off. Take it off. Take the bunt off. No. All right, you thought about it, take it off, let him swing now.
And yeah, some of this comes down to the players executing it because Castellanos being able to read a situation, be able to get a jump, which has been a problem with him in the outfield, been a problem with him on the base paths. His perception of the game at times drives me insane. Stott there also realizing that the wheel play is on and seeing in the pitch before the way they were reacting to him starting to show bunt. He's got to realize that. But in the moment, Rob Thompson admitting to you that you're playing for a tie is absurd. Absolutely absurd to hand a bad bullpen out because you want to tie the game at home. You have everything going in your favor. There is nobody out. There's a runner in scoring position. You are going to have Stott, and then you're going to have Bader, and then we made the jokes about the top of the lineup just moments ago, but literally the top of your order coming up. There is not a single out to be recorded yet. And you decide, you know what? We're cool. Let's just make it 4-4. We'll see what happens in the 10th.
Yep.
That's playing to tie is playing to lose in that moment.
You did have Turner, Schwarber, Harper coming up. Whoops.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Let's play for the tie because we're going to get the meat of our order up in the 10th inning. That'll be good. That'll go well for us.
610-632-0975. We're here live at Rally House in Springfield, Delaware County, Baltimore Pike. Love this place. So stop in and say hello. We are live on YouTube, so we're live on YouTube. We got it up and running. What's up?
That's the case. Yeah, hi guys. How are you?
Ray Dunn is here, looking like he was out late last night drinking.
No, I'm dressed in all black. I'm here for the funeral. I mean, that's what this is. This season's done.
So it's over?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, because we still have another show to do before but everybody should be saying that today. And then tomorrow we're going to decide where we are. Because that one hurt last night.
Yeah, I mean, I even I thought they were going to at least give us the charity win at home to split and then go back. Because the thing about these NLDSs that the Phillies have been in, well, against the Braves when they win them, you split them on the road, you come back, you take 2 at home. Mets last year, you split at home, Mets go take 2 at home. Like, here, I thought you'd at least give us the chance for a split, and today I could come in here. You know what? Maybe I was wrong about this team. Maybe.
No, you weren't. I got my buddy that I brought up on the air that I'm like, oh, you're scared like Ray, and then he texted me like, you're scared.
I'm not taking a victory lap. Why would I take a victory lap today? I'm miserable. All I wanted was to be a moron. That was all in my life I wanted. Well,
you succeed whether or not you were correct with your take or not.
I wanted to be a moron today. I wanted this series to go so differently where I thought, you know what, how could I have ever doubted this team? And today I'm sitting here like, well, I wasn't on them enough over the last couple of years because I thought this was going to be different. I thought this team was going to show me something different, and clearly they haven't. And they're telling you just how much they're pressing.
Top 3 biggest worries heading into the series. Offense would go cold, check. Bullpen would blow up, check. Rob Thompson would make boneheaded decisions. Check.
And this is the insane part. You're being outmanaged by Dave Roberts.
Yep.
Who literally brought in Blake Trine before he named a closer multiple days ago and then decided, you know what, the guy that stunk in September, I'm going to go to him. And you were like, let's hand that guy an out.
All right, Rob Thompson explains why he didn't pinch run for Castellanos. We'll play that coming up next. And I want profanity and yelling on the phone lines. Get it off of your chest. 610-632-0975. We're live at Rally House in Baltimore Pike in Springfield. This is Midday with the Mark, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic's Andrew DiCecco, the Philadelphia Inquirer's Weekdays with Marks, broadcasting live from in Springfield, your go-to spot for all your football gear this season. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, so couldn't do much about it. You know, I thought Stoddy laid down a good bunt, but, you know, it's the way it is. You know, we knew that we were going to probably pinch it with Bader. We needed to have Willie there. Plus, if you pinch run Willie for Castellanos and then Bader hits, you have no one to run for him, and you don't have another outfielder. So, kind of hands were tied.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I heard some people saying we'll put a pitcher in the pinch run, and okay, we've seen that before, but that's back when pitchers used to actually hit. And what starting pitcher are you putting into pinch run?
Tim Meza, come on down. Which he's going to tell you that they were playing for a tie, so he wanted his entire bullpen ready to go for extra innings because that's what he wanted to see.
But also, so we're complaining that Castellanos didn't get a good enough jump on the ball, didn't recognize what was going on. What makes you think a middle reliever or a starting pitcher, which, by the way, they don't hit anymore, so they're not on base, that's going to be a better runner than Nick Castellanos? We're not talking about speed and getting in from third base on a sac fly. We're talking about being able to read what's going on with this wheel play and being able to race Mookie Betts and get to third base before he does. And you want Chris Sanchez out there blow out his hamstring? Or unfortunately, because of Bader's injury, this is what they had to do.
Well, there's the idea here you could sell out for the tie. And basically you're selling out defensively here. You're putting Weston Wilson in, and if Bader gets a base hit and drives in the run, depending on what happens, if Stott gets thrown out at first, you end up with the runner on third, or if they go with that wheel play and end up safe at third, first to third, Bader gets that base hit, game tied, then it's Marchand at first. Marchand doesn't really matter as a base runner at that point because there's Stott at second base. That's the other side of this argument where I can see them trying to sell out there for the pinch runner. I have to say, in the moment, Castellanos standing on second base, I went through the roster and I was like, probably not going to call the pinch runner. So I can't be livid today at that aspect of it. I'll be livid about the bunt for a good long time.
The bunt's ridiculous. And the more you think about it, the more angry I get. Really, because I mentioned Stott was up. So from a Dodgers pitching perspective, they're rallying. It's the bottom of the ninth inning. Citizens Bank Park is going crazy. And you're going to slow the momentum down and the crowd down by bunting. But from a pitching perspective, so there's a base open, and Stott's up. There's a base open. Stott's a patient hitter, sees a lot of pitches. He doesn't mind taking a walk. So now you have the Dodgers, even though we may not have had a lot of faith in the top of the lineup coming up, but still, now they have to worry about, okay, am I throwing him a fastball here, or am I throwing an off-speed pitch and I'm giving him a walk to first base? It puts pressure on the relief pitcher to either make a pitch and throw a strike, or to say, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to throw him a fastball here, and I'm going to put him on first base.
Oh, no, I'm going after him. If I'm the reliever in that situation, I'm absolutely going after him, because Bader on deck, you're going to end up with a righty right there.
And that's what you want.
Right, and that's at that point, you're going to probably get his best, because there's nobody out. You need to start racking up outs. The Phillies have the tying run on second base and nobody out, and they lost by a run because you hand them out. Yeah, I would have gone after him if I was the reliever in that case. So in that case, Stott would have seen a couple strikes there, and all right, just put the ball in play. Just give me something. Put the ball in play. I'm begging you.
Let's go to Nick. Nick in Elkins Park. Hi, Nick. Nick. Did I do that right?
Yeah, it looks like he's on the air. I feel like, I don't know why you can't hear him.
All right, we're going to try Maniac Malloy, because I know he's going to. Was that Nick at the end? Do we have a lag here? Let's try Maniac.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Nick, go ahead, buddy. What's up?
First of all, I want to say congratulations on the new show.
What's up? Nick is a longtime Fanatic listener, longtime caller to any show that I've ever been on, man. Good to hear from you, Nick. How you been?
Good. Well, I've had better days, but
yeah, I hear you.
So my main beef with yesterday is why is he pulling Sosa? You're talking about a guy who has 4 homers, 6 hits in his last 16 ABs.
So you would have started Sosa over. You would have went right
he did
instead
start
of
the game.
Oh no, yeah, but so you would have stayed with Sosa.
Absolutely. It's over management.
You know what it is, Nick?
I understand the righty left split, but it's like sometimes you got to go with the hot hand. The guy's been mashing the ball.
Yep.
He almost put one out the other night.
Yep. He just missed. Thompson, if you go back to 2022, he was making the moves that he made worked, right? It did. They worked. And when you push buttons, your players have to execute. And unfortunately, when you're a manager, when the guys don't execute or the guys don't come through, it's the wrong move. But like the buttons that he's been pushing, when's the last correct button that Rob Thompson pushed in a playoff game to where you're like, that was a great move? When? 2022? I mean, seriously.
For me, I can't really remember a big pinch hit. I mean, recently, I guess you could say Bader came in and gave him a hit. But,
right, but that was fairly obvious that they were going to go with the right-handed batter who was coming off the bench. It actually played right into the Phillies got exactly what they wanted. Unfortunately, there wasn't a runner there. Anyway,
ended up being the right way to use him.
My main thing is you got to ride the hot. When the looking cold, ride the hot hand.
Fair. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Sean Rodman, our call screener is down here, so I can't drop him. If you can just manually drop callers. Mismanaged if we believe that he isn't injured and he's going to piggyback with Aaron Nola in Game 3. Just how we drew it up.
Yeah, well, I said I was with Amy. I said if I see Nola start a game in the NLDS, I'll lose my mind. I lost my mind last night as I got that information. I'm going to lose my mind again. We talk about it later on today. The fact is, though, if they get swept and Thompson loses his job, there is something incredibly ironic, poetic, whatever word you want to use, about Thompson's last game going down, trusting one of his veterans over anything else, because I feel like that's been my biggest gripe with him over the last couple of years, and it's going to be again. Hey, we trust this guy. This is a guy that's been around.
Too loyal.
His loyalty. Like that's
Robertson loyalty, right? Game 1, he's
well.
going
The
with
Robertson
his guys.
thing was just stupid. I mean, I'm trying to find a nicer word for it. Letting the guy go back out there, the up down to me, 40-year-old man that hadn't done that since August of 2024. That was just dumb to me.
I don't think it was stupid. It didn't work. Bottom line is it didn't work.
You have everyone available.
No, what I mean, the fact that Rangers not even starting Game 3, how is he not looked at as being a major piece of what you were going to do in the bullpen? Whether it was the 4th inning, the 5th inning, the 6th inning, or the 7th inning. If you were saying, well, because he's starting Game 3, we're not going to use him late in the game. We'll use him earlier in the game. So now he's coming in relief in Game 3. This is unbelievable. All right, 610-632-0975. Your phone calls, your texts coming up. Ray, what else do we have coming up next?
Oh, these guys pressing once more in a playoff game. Alec Boehm told too much of the truth. We'll play that for you coming up.
We're live at Rally House, Baltimore Pike in Springfield. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Season on the brink. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night, falling behind 2-0 in the NLDS. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight batters at one point, though, between him, Orion Kirkgreen, and Matt Strom. The Phillies allowed 4 runs in the 7th. Phillies scratched across the run in the 8th and a pair of runs in the 9th. Phillies bunted with Castellanos on second, no one out. Castellanos thrown out at third, and the Phillies were unable to find the tying run. Thompson defended the decision to bunt and to not pinch run Castellanos, as well as letting us know he has a surprise starter for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
So, it's Aaron Nola, first Yamamoto for Game 3 in L.A. Wednesday night at 9:08. Elsewhere, the Eagles preparing for the Giants on Thursday night. They didn't practice yesterday, but both Saquon Barkley and Landon Dickerson did pop up on the injury report yesterday as DNPs ahead of that game Thursday night against the Giants. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, Middays with Marks live at Rally House, Baltimore Pike in Springfield. A lot of people already out here buying the gear. We had a father. I don't mean a dad, a father of a priest.
I was really concerned. The way he was looking at me, I was like, yes, Father, I have sinned. I said a lot of things last night that I probably shouldn't have, and I was very upset.
But how many years has it been since your last confession?
It's been a while since my last confession.
Let me see. Let me do the math in my head. Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. It has been 38 years since my last confession.
Ooh, all right. It hasn't been 38 years for me.
37, maybe.
37, yeah. It's probably been...
Before my confirmation was the last time I...
Grandma, I hope you're not listening. Probably 8 years for me. Probably 8 since the last time I made it.
One of the ideas that, and it's something that Tony Bruno used to do, he would have Confessional Friday, where you would call in and you would confess your sports sins or your sins.
Ooh, I like that.
And it actually was a really, really fun segment. So
I enjoy that.
Maybe you can dress up in a priest outfit.
I actually have one.
Is that the least surprising
outfit? No, I don't think you call it a priest outfit.
Is that the least surprising thing ever? It is the least surprising thing ever that you have. What's it called?
I don't know. It's a costume.
Well, why? Is it Halloween one year?
I was a holy
Ray?
man. Yeah, Father Ray. Father Ray was walking around Temple's campus.
Well, that's another thing is we need to decide if we're doing Halloween this year.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I'm Dr. Mike the Switch.
What's wrong with you?
I'm coming in as Dr. Mike the Switch. I told you, I'm coming in.
Well, I'm glad at least you're into it, because I've worked with far too many people that were like, no, I'm not dressing up. Like, okay. Well, you're so much fun. Thank you very much.
I've got scrubs. Does that surprise you?
No. It does not surprise me. Actually, see, what we've done now is we're literally we're silly because of what the Phillies have done.
Yeah, they broke my brain.
They did. Well, it was fractured before. Now it's just a full-on tear.
I felt terrible here. I was going on that opening rant about everything that I was mad about. The poor little kid walking by, and I was like screaming about the Phillies. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, kid. Like,
right.
Don't be scared."
Yeah, be a big Phillies fan. You'll be like this guy one day. All right, hey, here's Alec Bohm. By the way, it'll be nice to see Alec Bohm play his final games in Philadelphia coming up here, however long the series goes, because they tried to move him last year, and you ain't running it back this year. Or next year, if you don't pull off a miracle and beat the Dodgers in the next 3 games. All right? Here is Alec Bohm after the game.
I think you're trying so hard that you just, whatever it is, you just kind of, it just gets you. You just kind of, I don't know how to explain what happens in those spots, but everything's so heightened and you're just so hyper-focused that you see something and you don't even know, like, why you swung or what, like, it just happens. So, that's...
Hey, make it stop. I've heard enough. Let's go to Maniac Malloy. Maniac Malloy was at the game last night. Oh. He was interviewing people. He's the senior content creator for Bet Parks. He was interviewing people as they left the stadium. Maniac Malloy joins us right now. What's up, Maniac?
It was like a morgue in there at one point. I mean, when they came out to do God Bless America on the trumpet, I thought they should have just played taps for the whole stadium, because it was, I mean, it was brutal. And then they go and do the most pathetic and the most embarrassing thing, which is, watching this Duran entrance with all the pyrotechnics and all this stuff. I mean, that was just absolutely
again. They did it again. They did it again. The Phillies said, "You know what? We spent all this money. So whether or not it's a save situation, we don't care. We're doing it."
How do you not have like a backup plan if you're down? Like, just don't do it. Like, 'cause it's a vibe. It's a vibe killer. It's just secondhand embarrassment.
And then the fans boo, guys. and then it's like, oh, well, the fans are booing it. Yeah, because what do you think? What do you think they're going to do? We're literally watching the season go up in flames, and there's rockets going off with Duran coming into the game. It's stupid.
So we'll talk confessions. I did, once Duran got traffic on the bases in the top of the ninth, I said, listen, I want to go get set up. I didn't leave the stadium. I watched on a TV right, behind center field, waiting to see what would happen. And
Uh-oh. Did we lose all the phones or just that phone call right there? All right, well, it doesn't sound like Maniac Malloy is there anymore.
Maniac?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, what else? What else is there to talk about? But like, what else could the Phillies do to screw things up? Seriously, what else could they do? They're like, oh yeah, let's bring it around. Let's play the. Let's do the. let's do the whole show because everybody's so excited to watch our closer come in and when you're losing.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
He didn't pitch once with the lead this series at home.
They had to make sure they probably spent like $1 million coming up with this new entrance or whatever. It's just stupid. And I wanted to ask Maniac Malloy about the crowd because listening to John and Andrew this morning, and I guess last night, John Kincade was tweeting at us like almost bragging that the crowd wasn't good enough or whatever.
No, I think he was bragging that the crowd was helping, that this is what the difference the crowd can make when they're making the run. I could pull up the tweet.
What, in the ninth inning when there were runners on base and they scored runs? Wait, what do you think's going to happen? What you should be saying is that they weren't having an effect when they weren't scoring runs and they needed a pick-me-up. All right? And I don't agree with that, but at least that would be a better argument. Of course, if they're scoring runs and they get runners on base, that there's the crowd is going to get loud. I don't like. We haven't even talked about the top of the order in the offense so far. We're talking about the bunt, which we should talk about. Go ahead if you haven't.
Yeah, it was before the ninth. So I guess it was at some point throughout maybe the 0-0 tie. Said this is how fans of Red October can affect a game. This is electric, and nobody's delivered ... yet.
Okay, maybe Luzardo was great.
Yeah, Luzardo had me fired up. I would be clapping for Luzardo every time he stepped onto the mound.
You know what the sad thing about this is? That I haven't even gotten the puke bucket out this postseason. You know why? The puke bucket only works if you have real anxiety because you believe in your team and you don't want it to slip away. There's no anxiety because you're watching the game and it's like the first team that scores is going to win and it's not going to be the Phillies because they can't get hits because their stars, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, are giving you nothing right now. And they've given you nothing for the last 3 postseasons. So, like, I can't have a puke bucket ready because there's no anxiety because this team doesn't give you a chance to have anxiety.
Yeah, I did actually have it. I fully bought back in that bottom of the ninth. I was like, you know what? This whole parallel to last postseason where they lose game 1 at home, they win game 2 on a walk-off, then go lose the next 2 on the road. I was like, there it is. There's the parallel. It's about to happen. So I did buy back in. I would implore whoever's got the security footage at Stateside Live down there. There's very funny, just me losing my mind at the end of that game because I thought there was the glimmer of hope.
Well, you need to do what everybody else does. Record yourself.
No, I'm not doing that.
When it happens. So then you can give your live uncan, because you're totally acting normal when you're recording yourself.
Yes. Oh, I was totally acting like a normal person, too, as they were trying to come back in the 9th inning. It's like there were two women standing behind me. I'm like, they think I'm insane right now. But because I was in that moment. I was insane.
Castellanos is on second base, and there's no outs, and Citizens Bank Park is going crazy. And I actually think for a second, they're going to pull this game out. Mm-hmm. They're going to win this game. And then they bunt. They stop any momentum that they had in the game by bunting. I mean, think about that. You got to know the situation. You got to know who's on second base. Sure, it took a great play by the Dodgers, a perfectly executed play to get him out of third base. But even if you get him to third base, what do you? I mean, I don't even know. AI may tell you if you Google it right now. What are the odds that he's coming home from third base? Right?
Well, and at that point, again, he's playing for the tie, which is the loser mentality there. And if. Like, obviously, we know what happens. Bader gets a base hit. If he got to third, it would have been tied. But if Bader hits a fly ball, like, how deep does that fly ball have to be to score Castellanos? We know he's not fleet of foot. Like,
well, they're good. They're now you're putting the third base coach in more or less deciding the season of whether you're going to send him or not. Right? Like, okay, yeah. So let's put it in his hands. Rob Thompson. Rob Thompson's managed himself out of a job if they don't come back and they don't win some games here.
That's a very, very positive outlook from you saying if.
It's not for today.
I know. I'm getting ahead of myself.
But believe it or not, the entire planet is going to be against the Phillies in Game 3 because Aaron Nola's starting, and there's nobody that thinks that he's going to go out there and he's going to pitch a good game. At least no one with that's sane right now.
Yeah, we got Thompson's explanation for that coming up.
Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, Aaron Nola. They're here to save the day. That's coming up. We'll try to get some more phone calls. Heard from Northeast Philly. He said he texted me before the show, and he was waiting on the phone before the show started.
Yes.
Herb, he said he has something that's going to blow our mind regarding the punt.
I'm scared.
Listen, if we can get him on the line, we'll check it out. 610-632-0975. We're live at Rally House, Baltimore Pike in Springfield. Come on down. It is 97.5 The Fanatic. Midday with Marks.
Hey, everybody, it's Bill Colarulo, and coming up at 2 o'clock on Unfiltered, Philadelphia Phillies lose another frustrating game to the L.A. Dodgers, falling
Marks with John Marks and Ray Dunn.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Will Ranger start game 3?
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Nola's never pitched out of the pen, so how long he goes, I don't know. But and I trust him.
Is there something health-wise with Suarez right now?
No, nothing.
Was that a little sus? No. No health-wise stuff. We're back live from Rally House in Springfield.
I honestly, and this is from a guy that's been one of Rob Thompson's biggest supporters at this station. Honestly, I don't think it's anything health-related. I think this is just the most mind-numbingly annoying management of pitching resources that I've seen. Honestly, not even pitching, just resources in general. I can believe we're here, but I can't believe we're here.
Mismanagement of Ranger Suarez. If you really, and there's nothing health-related, you're really using him out of the bullpen in a piggyback game with Aaron Nola? Really? Like that? That's where we are in game 3? And you use him in a high-leverage situation in game 1 that you needed him in. If you knew this was going to be the plan, this is obviously the plan. If this isn't health-related, Bill Colarulo came on with us yesterday, and he had said
Yeah, he's got a tin hat on. He's ready to go.
Aaron Nola, but he also said that Ranger takes the line drive off his inner thigh, and is he healthy? And Rob had said there he's healthy. So if he doesn't come in after Aaron Nola, obviously we know he's full of crap and there's an injury. I don't think it's an injury.
Yeah,
I think this is actually the plan, which is like you said, it's mind blowing.
Yep.
And I think that was Matt Gelb with the question. Did you hear him?
Was.
He's like, what's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, well, and Gelb, to Gelb's credit, he is usually right there on the nose of everything happening with this team. I think Gelb was sitting there shocked.
Can you play it again? Sean, can you play it again? Because when he said it, I was listening to it. When he said it, it didn't even get out of his mouth, and I said, what? Aaron Nola, let's play it again.
Rangers start game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Nola's never pitched out of the pen, so how long he goes, I don't know. But and I trust him.
Is there something health-wise with Suarez right now?
No, nothing.
Aaron responding to something that is just like something that your child says, what's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, that was disapproval. I wasn't listening live. I got the text from a buddy, and I've been making the joke over the last couple of weeks that this season was going to come down to an Aaron Nola elimination start because honestly, I thought it was just imagine if we got that discourse for 2 days leading into an elimination game. How funny would that be? That's never going to happen. And then I got the text, and I was like, oh, someone's pranking me. It's one of my buddies trying to mess with me. No, it's real. This is the life we're living.
It's because Ranger Suarez is injured, and there's been gamesmanship, and they don't want to put that out there. No, it's really probably not that. It's just that they'd rather have just how they drew it up. Let's do Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez, piggyback game in Game 3. Awesome.
Great. That's how I want this season to be determined.
Maniac Malloy, we're going to try you again. We hope it was your phone. Can you punch him up there, Sean Rodman? Maniac Malloy was live at the ballpark last night. Maniac, are you there?
Well, you're going to have another situation here where Rob Thompson is probably going to get outmanaged again with this decision to pitch Aaron Nola. I think to myself, it's unfortunate. You got Dave Roberts is pushing the right buttons when Rob Thompson is not. Calling the wheel play in that situation last night was huge. That was absolutely genius play out of him, knowing that Nick Castellanos is running in quicksand. What he did with Will Smith in Game 1 and Game 2, Rob getting outmanaged. But really, you want to talk about it, I'm zeroed in. My sights are in on Kyle Schwarber. Last 5 playoff games, 0 for 18, 10 strikeouts. But we want to give this guy a blank check to come back next year. A blank check to do absolutely nothing for back-to-back postseasons. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I feel like I got scammed. I feel like I've been scammed, and I've been scammed again and scammed again.
Maniac Beloy. Thank you, Maniac.
That's another show right there, by the way. We're going to get to that.
We have lots of layers.
Is that blank check as blank as it was before? Or?
It is not. It is not. You look at look at the top 3 in the order. Trey Turner had a hit and an RBI. Got going in the 8th inning, batting 143. Schwarber. What are those 3 numbers right there next to his average?
There's 0,
0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
0, 0, 0. Bryce Harper, 143. He did draw a walk. And by the way, the strikeout against Snell, and Snell was dealing last night. And it's on a left-handed. He's very good against left-handed hitters, and that was in a bat, right? All right, dude, come on, man. You've had your moments here in Philadelphia. Those moments are a couple years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That was a moment last night, and again, didn't deliver. This team, I said it yesterday. I said it last year. I'll say it again. This team is only going as far as their star players are going to take them. Zach Wheeler is no longer on this roster, so you cannot count him as a star player. That means that you're going with your bats. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. If they're at the top of the lineup and they're not hitting the ball and they're not driving the ball and they're not being run producers and run scorers, then guess what? We can sit here, we can complain about Rob Thompson and the bunt and the crowd's not loud enough and all this other crap, and it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. They're not winning anything without those guys producing. Period.
Yeah, Rob Thompson's probably managing himself out of a job at this point, and he's going to be the one that goes down when the guys you're paying, it's the $1 billion lineup again. This is exactly what it is. They're just not producing.
And guess what? hitting coaches get fired. Managers get fired when their players don't produce. And Kevin Long, is he going to be the one that's gone,
Well, that's
right?
going to be interesting with the Schwarber. That's like a fun Schwarber undertone of this whole thing. If you get rid of Kevin Long, I think that changes the Schwarber dynamic.
Right, and it doesn't mean...
Considerably.
I remember when Milt Thompson got fired from the Phillies, and a lot of Phillies fans were mad because he had been with the championship team and everything else. And the reaction from baseball people were, yeah, it's not really fair, but that's what happens when guys aren't hitting and the offense is struggling.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? When you lose, guys lose jobs. Guys get traded. Guys don't get re-signed. Managers get fired. Hitting coaches get fired. After last year and the year before, and how clueless this team looks at the plate, look, I mean, guys are going to lose their job, and it's going to be all of them. It's going to be all of them. 610-632-0975. Herb from Northeast Philly discusses the bunt. Does he have his clothes on today? I'll explain. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We're live at Rally House in Baltimore Pike, Springfield. What else do we have coming up there right now?
Oh, yeah. Harper talking about flipping the scripts. We just got into a little bit of Harper, but, man, these big bats not doing their thing again, and I don't know how many times I could be sold in this lineup doing something different.
I love Bryce Harper. I didn't need to see him or hear him talk last night.
Well, you hear him coming up.
But he has to, but I didn't need to hear or see it, and I saw it. We'll play it for you coming up right after this. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Season on the brink. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night, falling behind 2-0 in the NLDS. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight batters at one point. But between Orion Kirker and Matt Strom, the Phillies allowed 4 runs in the 7th. Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th and a pair of runs in the 9th. The Phillies bunted with Castellanos on second, representing the tying run, and nobody out. Castellanos thrown out at third. Phillies did not find that tying run. Thompson defended that decision, the decision not to pinch run Castellanos, and then gave you a surprise starter for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
So Aaron Nola gets to start with the season on the line in Game 3 in L.A. Wednesday night at 9:08 Eastern. Elsewhere, the Eagles are preparing for the Giants on Thursday Night Football. They didn't practice yesterday, but both Saquon Barkley and Landon Dickerson appeared on the injury report, as did not practice yesterday. This update's also brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
more Middays with Marks.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yeah, just got to flip the script. Obviously, like you said, it's been tough. So just got to flip the script and understand. Like I said, we're a really good baseball team, and it's like I said, first to 3. So just got to keep going.
All right, there's Bryce Harper after the game. We're back live from Rally House in Springfield, Delco, Baltimore Pike. As probably not how Rally House drew it up after Game 2. Figured the town would be on fire, Red October. Let's get in here. Let's get all our Rally House stuff. Here's what I'll say. The Phillies get a win tomorrow night. It's going to have us feeling a little bit better. And that's for tomorrow. I think today we're lamenting. So you should still stop by, and you should still grab your gear, because there's amazing Philly stuff that's here.
I'm looking in this cream-colored sweatshirt in front of us with the little powder blue and the maroon P, and I'll be honest with you, as mad as I am at them, I'm going to end up wearing Phillies gear again coming around in a couple months. There's a chance that walks home with me, and behind us is a massive, behind our little setup here, but behind our setup is all of the wonderful Eagles gear. And as mad as I am at them today, I'll probably go look into there at some point.
And it's appropriate for where we are right now. If you're looking for Penn State stuff, if you're a Penn State fan, they have a really, really good selection. It is next to the bathroom all the way in the back. That's where it should be. It is. Seriously, it's exactly, and that's where it deserves to be. Now, I don't know if they moved it after the UCLA game. Maybe that's just happens to be where it is, but it's appropriately placed regardless.
Yeah, no, definitely where it should be today.
So just head for the bathroom if you're looking for it coming in today and you're looking for it's the Temple stuff is featured
3-2,
right there.
baby. KC Keeler 1-0 in the American.
Let's go.
They got Navy this weekend. You better believe I'm taking all I had in the Phillies and I'm investing it into Temple football this weekend. I'll be down there for homecoming. 4-2. We're going to be 2-0 in the American.
It's going to be so fun to watch them crash and burn.
That's not going to happen this week. Not this week.
Oh, next week.
Not this week. Not next week. October, we will own it. It's a cherry October in Philadelphia.
Listen, we got to have at least a couple hundred people in the Delaware Valley that care about Temple football. And since you're one of them, I
am leading the brigade with that group. They listen to this Middays program.
I've been to many Temple games. It's a good time to go. I love going down the link and watching Temple play. Been a while since I've been down there. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN and WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities, where we're not broadcasting live. There, we're away from our studios. We're at Rally House at Baltimore Pike in Springfield. Give me a couple text assists, and then we'll take a phone call here.
Yeah, unnamed texter earlier said, Nola starting Game 3, WTF. Might as well just activate Romano at this point.
I hear you're a Seinfeld fan.
Yes,
correct?
I am.
You're an old soul. Mm-hmm. That show was over before you were born.
Yeah.
So there's the George Costanza opposite episode where he just says, I'm going to do everything opposite. Rob Thompson, after the game last night, said, you know what? Let's go with Aaron Nola in Game 3.
The platoons are over in Game 3, too. We're just going to throw everything we've done all season long out the window.
All right, what else do we have?
All right, we got Norm Mayfair here. Same crap, different playoffs. Big 3 come up tiny again. Even my wife said, why the heck is Stott bunting? And the light show is why people are booing. Come on, how about you think a little?
Yeah, and we'll talk about what Nick Castellanos said after the game last night. And I think it was during Maniac Malloy's call I was thinking about this. How many times have you seen in a game where the player shows bunt and it's a ball, and then the next pitch they're no longer bunting? Maybe they've seen the alignment, maybe the manager has second thoughts on it, and that's what I was hoping happened after that first pitch, which was like, no, don't bunt. So now you're ahead in the count 1-0. So you have an advantage in the count. So that's the perfect time to say, you know what? Like, we've seen what they were doing, we've seen the alignment, step out. No, we're not bunting now. And situational baseball, and Bryson Stott, he may not be the best player, he may not have the most power, he may not have the highest average, but as far as an idea of what he's doing at the plate, I'll put him up there with anybody else on the team, right? He's going to see pitches, he's going to give you a quality at bat. He realizes that he's not going to go for an outside pitch because he could hit the ball right to the third baseman, and then you're not moving the player to third. So if you pull the ball, you're doing the same thing, but you're not giving yourself up. And the fact that they got ball one, this didn't happen on the first pitch and you thought, hey, maybe we get him by surprise. You got ball one, but you showed the bunt. Mm-hmm. Pull it back. Pull it back, and they still went for it. Unbelievable.
And that's why, I mean, I'm livid at the decision to bunt. But I will say there is a fair amount of criticism that we probably won't levy today at the players for execution in that moment. One, with Castellanos, the jump that he gets, and two, with Stott in that moment. Because if you listen to Thompson after the game, the one thing he does say there, they're taught if they see the wheel play,
don't do it.
To bring it back and swing. He didn't have any recognition. I get it. Betts broke late, and the fact that Betts is as good a shortstop as he is, moving to that position, and being able to make that play. And they said after the game, Dodgers said they haven't run that before, like they don't practice that. That's just something that they talked about of course, like that's just
that's a miracle.
Yeah,
they executed
it. The fact that they executed it, like there's a credit to them, and there's also a little bit of, hey, Castellanos, you have to know. You have to be able to read that situation. Stott, you have to be able to read that situation and react. Obviously, the coaches are going to take it because you decide to do that in that moment. You gave him that, and he's listening to you as the coach. You're the leader there. Well, you have to wear it. But in that moment, the two of them also have to share in some of this blame. I know I'm as mad at Thompson for this series as I could possibly be. So I'm not trying to take him off the hook at all, but I also have to look at the players and the execution in that moment.
Herb from Northeast Philly is going to say it's bad coaching with the Phillies and the bunt. Herb joins us right now. Herb, how are you, buddy?
Okay, Johnny. All right, I want to make this fast because I'm over at the doctor's office. Listen,
what kind of a doctor?
Nah, just my skin. That's all.
Dermatologist.
The last night when he hit the double, that's right away. They should have called timeout. He should have went over to first base. The coach on first base is already talked with Topper. Okay, they decide that they want to bunt. He tells him, okay, what was it, the first pitch, they didn't get the bunt down. The second pitch, he got the bunt down, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. There's what they call is in college, all these guys that played with the Phillies, most of them played in college, Stott played in college. Mm-hmm. They all know if there's it's called run and bunt. That means the runner at second takes off for third, and then he lays the bunt down. There's three types of bunts that they use. Mm-hmm. One's a sacrifice, man on first and second. Suicide squeeze at third base to bring him home, okay? And this bunt is called a run and bunt. Everybody does it in college, and I'm sure they do it in the minors.
And Castellanos didn't run.
The thing is, if he would have ran on that second, he would have made it to third. They would have fielded the ball and threw it to first. And that's it. He would have been out at first base.
Or Herb, I appreciate it. Good luck at the. You're going to drop him, son. Go ahead. We got to run. I'm sorry, but like it took literally Castellanos being slow to react a little bit, right? The fact that you had a runner that isn't the most fleet of foot, and almost a perfect play by the Dodgers to get him out at third base. Because what you see happen in situations like that is third baseman fields the ball, panics, throws the ball to third base, and he's safe. Now you have runners at first and third, and there's nobody out. And you get exactly what you're looking for. So it did take the Dodgers to execute that play perfectly to get it done. But, I mean, like, also, you could bunt it up in the air, and it goes right to the third baseman. So now Castellanos is running off at second base. He could get doubled up. There's too many things that can happen there that doesn't outweigh what you're looking for. Is you need a base hit. Yeah. All you need is a base hit to tie the game. And going for a bunt to tie the game is silly.
And at that point, even if they get the base hit and Castellanos, Dusty's like, you know what, he's not fast enough to score, I'm going to hold him first and third. Nobody out. There's nobody out. That's still the thing here. Nobody out. You can ground into a double play in that next at-bat. And guess what? They're going to have to think about, we're going to go home? And then instead, if they were to go home there, now we're walking well down this path and get Castellanos at the plate. You're first and second with one out. And the top of your order come. Like, this is the thing. This is, with this, consistently, you're handing them an out. However you look at it, you're trying to hand them an out. In that situation, it worked out absolute worst case where the guy in scoring position is then out at that point, and you have to readjust. But even if he gets the third, there's one out, and now even on, you need to get a very deep sac fly to feel comfortable about basically putting your season on Castellanos trying to tag from third.
No, you're right, because the runner's going to score from second most likely. With Castellanos, it's a little bit different. So what you're really saying is, I'm going to give up an out for one chance to score the runner from third base on a sack fly or on a ground ball where he's able to score. Is it really worth it?
No,
because with two outs now, you need a hit anyway. So you wouldn't needed a hit 1, 2, 3. You have 3 opportunities to get a hit.
Right.
And now you're literally, your game is on the line. You're saying, okay, now I need a sacrifice fly or I need to be able to get him home. And you know what else could happen, Ray Dunn? You can hit the ball right to the shortstop who's playing in, and he throws the ball home, and then you're out at home. I mean, haven't we seen that too? I mean,
well, and we also saw in the game a shortstop throw up the first base line.
And how about Trey Turner? Like you had just said.
Yeah.
Right? If that's a good throw, he's out.
Different world.
Yep.
Different world today.
Your stars are coming up small. And I mentioned Herb, did he have a shirt on? He may not have had a shirt on.
Dermatologist, so probably not.
And the reason I say that is, for whatever reason, Herb was in Brazil at the Eagles-Brazil game last year against the Packers, and he started sending me pictures with a shirt off.
Oh, right.
I showed him
a little wild in Brazil
before the show. Yeah,
yes, I did see it.
There was discussions on what he was doing. I didn't know if he was shooting a shot and said, I'm in Brazil, like, what the hell? I don't think that was the case, but you're looking at it right now.
Yeah, I didn't ask to see it a second time, but I appreciate you reminding me. Yeah, Herb. Hey, listen, shoot your shot. Brazil, worst places to shoot your shot.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, you were in America, though.
Yeah. No, I wasn't expecting to be getting shirtless Herb pictures sent to me.
Did you get maybe like the invite, like fly out?
There was no invite. There was also a shot of his belly. I don't know.
Okay. Now,
I think that was. I didn't know if he meant to send that one. The male football. So there was a male football picture. 610-632-0975. Did I showed you that one too? There it is. 610-632-09. 610-632-0975. All right. Here's what I'll say about this. Everybody's pissed. That's what we're here for. I'm silly at this point. Are you mad? Because Ray,
I'm still mad.
Ray's angry.
Yeah, I thought I got it all out last night. I was like, you're going to show up measured tomorrow. You're going to end up just talking about the game. No, I'm livid. I'm mad. I'll probably be mad tomorrow too. Yeah, maybe talk to me in November. Maybe I'll have gotten over it by then.
Probably shouldn't be admitting this on the air because our boss is listening, but I'm kind of hungover, so maybe that's why I'm not as because I started drinking a bottle of booze after the game.
Who would have had the two of us, you being the one?
Right. And said, seriously, dude, I never drink. Literally never drink. And I went out, I have a refrigerator in my garage. I went out to get something in the garage, and this bottle of espresso martini. Jen and I were talking about this for the show. It's already prepared, and it's 40 proof, and it's a big bottle, and it's good enough. And it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. It's if I poured it in a martini glass, you'd be like, oh, this is pretty good. You wouldn't think you're at the best restaurant, but it's pretty good. I just started drinking it out of the bottle last night. That's how I felt. So when I woke up this morning, my head did hurt.
We can get into the way my night ended later on in the show. That's probably too strong of a tease, but yeah, I was on a similar wavelength.
That's coming up in the 1 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we'll get to that at the 1 o'clock
with Ray
hour.
Dunn. Coming up next, live from Rally House in Baltimore Pike in Springfield, Nick Castellanos said what after the game? Are you serious, Nick? When do you hear this? That's coming up next. We're live at Rally House. It is Middays with Marks.
John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas, and Connor Thomas.
Thought-provoking, Sports talk that you trust.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. The phone number 610-632-0975. The text line, which is hot and heavy today. Another Seinfeld reference.
They're very upset today. Yeah, another Seinfeld reference from you. Are you a Seinfeld guy?
I can't watch him anymore on the regular.
Why?
Because I've seen him too many times. Hey, dude, after the show was over, I probably watched reruns on a regular basis for 10 or 15 years. I don't even know when was Seinfeld done? Late 90s?
Late 90s?
Yeah. So I can't, like, it's like a song that I liked when I was in high, like, just can't listen to it anymore. Every once in a while. You work in
sports media, man. That's like half the references.
I mean, no, not anymore. No. I just used one, the hot and heavy, which was
You've used two in the last 20 minutes.
Okay, I know, but it's only because you.
I'm telling you. Think about all the people that do this. Like, there's a lot of Seinfeld fans. Mostly because we all kind of want to think that we are observationally funny. That's why we got into this.
Jerry started that.
Yeah, and we all think that, like, we're sports people, but actually on top of it, we've got a sense of humor.
We're trying to be clever.
That's it. That's what this is. That's the show.
You are clever, actually.
I try my best.
That's a good word for you, clever.
Clever?
Yeah. Among other words.
Yeah. We can't use all of them here.
But anyway, yes, the text line is active. Give me a text or two.
Yeah, someone was upset with the Schwarber conversation earlier. Sean checking in here. Without Kyle Schwarber, we don't win the NL East. I'm bringing him back. The top three of the order has sucked. Yes, but we should have won game one. Thanks to Topper. Last night's stupid decision to bunt when you have the slowest runner of the team on base makes no sense. This team needs a wake-up call. Yeah,
I wasn't. This is kind of like I'm mad because Schwarber hasn't gotten a hit. You're still going to bring him back. You're still going to pay him a lot of money. He's not. This isn't Aaron Judge or somebody that's getting even a $200 million contract. He's going to get paid. He's going to get close around 40 a year, 35 a year for 4 years. Maybe he's able to weasel a fifth. This team is so pot committed with their salaries and their veteran players. You can't run it back.
But it's not going to look that much different.
But you can't run it back. I know Dave Dombrowski tried to change some things, and he wasn't able to move Bohm. So, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of other things you could do. So, what are you going to do? You're going to overpay Bader because he gave you a good 2 months? That doesn't sound like a good idea. I mean, you actually have a center fielder now that can play.
Yeah, I would like that Bader back.
Yeah, but what about Crawford?
They didn't play him a ton in center at AAA. Like, I think they're telling you that they think he might be a corner guy that just gives you a different dynamic to the lineup.
Oh, so a corner guy with no power.
Right.
So Brandon Marsh, you're moving on from Brandon Marsh?
Well, I would say Brandon Marsh and he are two very different players offensively.
No, I know, but they're both left-handed bats.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Brandon Marsh is here next year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to move Marsh, okay, now are you relying on Crawford to be a starter? He needs regular at-bats.
Right. I think he's going to be a starter. I think he's a part of the plan for next year.
I agree. He should be a part of the plan.
So
he batted 3 whatever in AAA.
Right.
Like, you got to give him a shot to bring it up. I mean,
I'll be interested in the ground ball rate.
No, but also realize that he doesn't have to come up here and be good either, right?
Like, I mean, there's a chance he comes up here and he's not good.
Right.
And then you're, look, who would imagine that they need an outfielder at the deadline? What does that sound like? So,
and just to re-rack the text, Schwarber's coming. I'd be shocked if Schwarber didn't come back. I'd be shocked. What does their offense look like next year without Schwarber?
Well, I'd be shocked if they don't pursue him coming back.
Okay.
I do, like, there is a little bit of me, and this is, again, where I'm at mentally right now with this team, and I know some people are, you're overreacting. Probably. Yeah, I'm still.
Yes, we're allowed to overreact.
Yeah. If I'm Schwarber, and I look around at the clubhouse after this season, I say, hey, our ace right now is out. You know, he's obviously, Wheeler had to deal with the blood clot, and, you know, we know that he probably won't start next season at the beginning of the season. He'll have to come back at some point. You don't know what he's going to look like late in his 30s. You look at that, you say, okay, I know what he is. JT, you're going to be another year older. Bryce, you're going to be another year older. Turner, you're going to be another year older. I'm a pretty, I think desirable commodity across baseball. Can I find myself in a better situation? There aren't many better than this. But is there a world where maybe this week makes him look around and say, if I want to go get another ring, I've proven I've got that leadership. That's going to be valuable somewhere.
I think it has little to do with that, and it has. I heard the guys this morning saying that Ranger Suarez is going to be mad, and he's going to say, you know what, Phillies, screw you. I'm going to go sign somewhere else. Whoever pays Ranger Suarez the largest amount is where he's going to be.
Probably.
And if the Phillies say, hey, we're willing to match that offer, rather than go to Cincinnati, I don't think he's saying, like, no, F you Phillies, I'm going to Cincinnati.
His market will be the most interesting thing to watch this season across baseball, to me. Given the amount of left-handed pitchers that will be available and given just the roller coaster of the Rangers Suarez experience where, like, it's really, really good when it's good and it's really, really concerning when he's banged up.
I don't think he's going to have a huge market.
I'm very perplexed as to what it's going to look like.
I think he'll have a lot of interest. He's not getting a 5-year, $150 million contract. Is he getting a 3-year for $75? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so, like, again, where people go year-wise, where people go money-wise with him is going to, because I try to put my finger on, every time I do, it changes. By the way, just here, another just really, really fun text. Matt from Pottsville. Ohtani and Petch struggling against left-handed pitching in this series, so let's start Nola over Ranger. Nola will be the perfect slump buster for those two. Make it make sense. Everyone's doing great. This is the world we live in today.
Let's go to Black Gritty from blackgritty.com. Black Gritty, good morning. How are you? Are the Phillies still going to the World Series? Can you try to punch him up? I guess me punching anybody up is not going to work here.
BJ.
Are we there? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Black Gritty from blackgritty.com. Hello? Yeah, we got you.
I got you. So Martin over Seinfeld, and we're not going to the World Series, and I'm going to overreact like nobody's business. I'm not bringing Schwarber back. I want Topper gone. Matter of fact, I don't want them getting on the plane. But put the replacements in there. You got $1 billion worth of bats that can't hit nothing. I'd rather have like 14 baiters with no names going out there, and at least they're going to hit something, do something. The next year, Bryce, thank you for choosing me, Bryce. I don't want to see a baby blue bat. I don't want to see no Fanatic or Wawa cleats. Like, I am done, Johnny Marks. The fact that you can't show up and do anything, and Topper, mistake after mistake after mistake. You saw them know that you're button. Let the kids swing. You got all the momentum. You finally got a crowd on your side, and then you sit there and pull this junk with me again year after year. You're the 76ers going in reverse. And if anybody thinks anything's going to be different, you're stupid. John Middleton, get your money back. Why put him on a plane? Why you want to... I haven't slept, Johnny Martin. You know I don't sleep at John anyway. But I'm so sad and hurt and broken. I don't care about nothing about this team. They're a bunch of punks. Blow it all up, Johnny Martin. None of them deserve anything. Schwarber's not getting a check from nobody. Not around here. For what? You think you're Howard? You want to be Howard, you coward? Hit the ball. Have a good day, Johnny Martin. Hey.
He's out. Black Gritty.
Get some sleep.
Yeah, Black Gritty is normally up. I know if it's 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning and I'm up early, Black Gritty, there's a good chance that he's awake. And he's in the lab making some content.
Yeah. Content's not going to be as positive this week. He was ready for the World Series last week.
Well, we will see what happens after tomorrow. We didn't get to the Nick Castellanos comments, which we will coming up, it's a lot of fun.
It's a joy.
Really glad that Nick Castellanos opened his mouth after the game. But I mean, but like everybody's now, we're kind of, even though the ink's not even dry from the loss last night, it really is like, what's the direction of the franchise? And I was thinking about this last night when I was drinking. I was like, so what does John Middleton think about all this? Because that's all that matters is what the owner thinks. Because Dave Dombrowski can have his thoughts. John Middleton's he's going to put his signature on what happens if they do end up getting swept or they lose. And I can't imagine John Middleton's going to sign up for another year of Rob Thompson.
Yeah, no, I think John Middleton and John Marks last night were very similar, except he was not drinking whatever espresso martini thing you had. He had the real deal, whatever it was. He had something high class that he was sitting there just sipping for a while last night.
But you know what, though? I don't think you drink high class. You get a bottle of Wild Turkey.
I bet he thinks Captain Morgan's a person. I don't think he operates in our tax bracket.
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think anything low class to him would be like, ooh, this is a nice day for me.
See, to me, rubbing alcohol, drinking, you shouldn't drink that, but
you
almost wanted to, but you almost wanted to hurt going down because that's the way we feel right now. Yeah. I don't want Johnny Walker Blue to where like, wow, this is really good. No. You don't want that.
No, I think he's going straight from the bottle with some of that stuff. And I think he's last night. Also, for people that would be upset today, I just want to know what it was like when Dave Dombrowski saw Bader leave that game with an injury. There's like another right-handed bat I traded for at the deadline gets hurt. I'm not going to have for the postseason.
And you know what? What happens if you can pinch run for Castellanos? Are you safe there? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Just because you put in a faster runner or something that maybe recognizes it doesn't mean they're going to.
Could have been another poor break. I mean, they executed the play well. You got to give the Dodgers credit for what they did there. I know no one wants to hear that today, but you have to give them credit.
It's true. And when the Phillies had opportunities to execute plays like Trey Turner coming home with the ball and throwing it up the first baseline, and it's a bang-bang play. I mean, you think about that. Trey Turner was out by an inch sliding in the third base. They were safe at home by an inch sliding in the home because of a poor throw. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, every play the Dodgers have made that they needed, they've made.
Yep.
And the Phillies haven't. I mean, there's so many different angles and reasons why the Phillies are down 2-0. And we'll discuss it, including Nick Castellanos, who opened up his mouth last night after the game. And he's putting some blame on the fans. Is that what he's doing? Nick Castellanos, your text messages at 610-632-0975. Your phone calls, 610-632-0975. Your reaction, and it's allowed to be an overreaction. It's okay today. We're live at Rally House in Springfield, Delaware County. Middays with Marks. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Oh, man, I got to talk about this game so much longer. I'm right done with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night, falling behind 2-0 in the NLDS. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight batters at one point between he, Orion Kerkering, Matt Strom. The Phillies allowed 4 runs in the 7th. The Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th, and then a pair of runs in the 9th. The Phillies had the tying run at second base, decided to bunt with nobody out. Castellanos thrown out at third, and then the Phillies were unable to find that tying run. Rob Thompson defended that decision, not pinch running Nick Castellanos postgame, and then let us know about a surprise for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
Aaron Nola started Game 3 for the Phils. Season on the line. 1 game from elimination. Game 3 in L.A. Wednesday night at 9:08 p.m. Eastern. Elsewhere, the Eagles preparing for the Giants on Thursday night. Football that didn't practice yesterday. Both Saquon Barkley and Landon Dickerson were listed as did not practice on the estimated injury report that came out yesterday. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
to a special Middays with Marks, broadcasting live from
Rally House
in Springfield, your go-to spot for all your football gear this season. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, yeah, we are back at Rally House in Springfield, Baltimore Pike. FedEx Ed stopped by and say hello. Long time for me and Ed. Haven't talked to him in a number of years, but he was one of the, he was a Missinelli caller, Missinelli and Marks' producer caller. Yeah, he made the switch.
He made the switch. Dr. Mike the Switch.
Ray Dunn. Shout out to Rodney Bird, who got us some coffee here, our chief engineer, Rodney Bird. Jen Scordo's with us as well today, live at Rally House. Eric and Olivia also here today, and you should also stop out because they have a ton of great gear. And if you're looking for the Penn State gear, again, just head towards the bathroom because that's where it's appropriately placed in the back. But they have a great selection of it.
I'm sure they do.
They do.
I mean, I'm just going to go look at the Owl stuff.
Temple stuff for whoever would.
Me? I mean, I haven't bought Temple stuff in a while. I feel like working there has helped me in terms of my attire.
Yeah, they probably give you some.
Yeah, so they give me some good looking.
I can be bought. So if Temple wants more positive talk of Temple, if
you've got me, Temple, don't try and buy him.
Yeah, it's buy me.
You've got the morning guys too.
You want a Union mention once a show? All right.
I nearly came in the Union jersey on Monday, but I figured that people would take it as me trying to look away from the problems that the Eagles and the Phillies had, and I didn't want to put the Union in that scenario. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Today I'm dressed in all black because funeral for the season.
Yes, it's you're dressed appropriately.
Yes,
for sure. All right, so Nick Castellanos. By the way, big hit.
Yeah.
Who the hell was expecting Nick Castellanos to come up big in that particular situation? Big hit.
Hey, he loves a good NLDS. 2023, 2024, 2025, the NLDS, that's been his thing.
No doubt about that. He's able to get it done. He's standing on second base. Citizens Bank Park is going nuts. No outs. They're going to win this. Positive Johnny Marks. They're going to win this. This is unbelievable. They're really going to win this game. And then we know what happened with the bunt and everything else. After the game, Nick Castellanos says the following. I think that the stadium is alive on both sides, right? When the game's going good, it's wind at our backs. But when the game is not going good, it's wind in our face. The environment can be with us, and the environment can be against us.
And on top of that, because he kept going, he keeps talking here. When everything's going good and you're rolling, it's a pain to play here when you're an opposing team because the environment is amazing. But if we run into adversity and the tide shifts and now we're playing, now everyone's playing more tight because we don't want to be reprimanded for something bad. He doesn't want to be reprimanded by the fans.
Wah. Here's how it works, Nick. And by the way, Ray, this is not exclusive to Philadelphia.
No.
When the team struggles, when the team's not getting hits, when they go innings without getting hits, when dating back till last year, 2024, the year before that, 2023, and we're more or less watching this team go down in flames. And when people are paying $200, $300, $400, $500 a ticket, I mean, let me give you an example. I had tickets for the game. They were no hit in the World Series.
Yeah,
I went to that game, 4 tickets, and they're not cheap. On the secondary market, those tickets were going for $3,600 a piece. I could have banked $12,000 if I would have just sold the tickets. But that's not why I wanted to go to the game.
Right.
And it was the best experience ever till the game started, and they didn't get it as a hit. So, by the way, this goes back even to the year they went to the World Series that they didn't get hits in big spots. But when fans go to games and they're not getting hits, and you're literally watching your team go down in flames, Phillies fans are not overly negative. You're reacting to what's happening on the field. And you know what? Yeah, there's going to be booing when you play the stupid open to Duran when they're losing in Game 2 of the NLDS. I don't know if it was referring to that or whatever, but isn't this the type of adversity that other athletes talk about, how it helps them and it wakes them up and it kind of gives them that kick in the behind that they need? You have to have some self-awareness. After last night's loss, you go down 2-0, your offense is struggling, the manager keeps making bad decisions that aren't working. You're going to complain about the fans? Like, Jesus, God, Nick, what are you doing?
That doesn't bother him. He's just walking out the door.
Well, by the way, he's the one that already had proclaimed before the series started that it's already been a success.
Yeah, it's been a memorable 4 years. There's been a lot of success, a lot of winning.
Can you find that, Sean Rodman?
Here, which depressing stat do you want? You want the last 11 playoff games?
Give me, yes, depress me.
All right, yeah. Last 11 playoff games for the Phillies. They are 2-9. They have scored 3 runs per game, and they have a 191 batting average over that time. They've scored over 3 runs in only 1 of those losses. So of those 9 games, they've scored over 3 runs just once. Those other 8 losses, 3 runs or less.
They scored the 7 runs that they got the win. That was at home.
Yes. So this is just exclusive to losses. That was a win.
And that was a win. The time at home they scored 7 runs. That was the 1 win that they had.
Yeah.
What are they now? 1-7 at home.
They are 1-5 in their last 6. 5 of the last 6 they've lost at home.
Well, I mean, it's because of the crowd noise. As I've been told, we're not loud enough, and that's why Citizens Bank Park.
It's tense. I just like, what do you want to do? Like, there are people that say, well, what should Castellanos say? Nothing is what he should say. But if he really truly believes this, and that's, you can see where he's coming from here. What should fans do? If things are going poorly and we cheered, how do you feel as a player? Stupid. If we're quiet, how do you feel? Tense. If we're booing, how do you feel? Upset. Guess what? It all comes down to the fact you're not playing good enough. Any response to you not playing well enough is going to end up feeling wrong to you because you're not playing well enough and you're trying to externalize that feeling of not doing your job. That's what it is.
I'm insulted that we even have to explain. We're in Philadelphia. The booing capital of the world.
You've been here 4 years, man. Like,
and when I say the booing capital of the world, I say that with tongue in cheek because if you watch, I was surprised at it too. I was watching an NFL game, or maybe I was watching Red Zone, and I heard boos, and I was like, well, man, like they're really frustrated with the team. Forget what it was, but anyway, my thought was, yeah, fans react. They're not saying, hey, Nick, middle finger. Well, maybe some are, but. You know what I mean? Like, you're reacting to what's happening. And we're watching on the field a lifeless offense with star players that aren't doing anything. And by the way, Nick Castellanos is a part of it. Nick Castellanos, he's not making peanuts.
No.
He's making $20+ million a year, and he produced late last night.
Of the 2 guys that you signed to that offseason, Schwarber's the one up for a contract because you only gave him 4 years. You gave Castellanos 5. 5 for 100, man.
Well, now they can finally trade him because he's in the final year of a deal. So the Phillies will likely eat some of that contract and they'll
Miami, baby.
However,
welcome to Miami.
It'd be a perfect spot for him.
I think that's where he's going.
However, you have to replace him because as much as maybe we're sick of Nick Castellanos, and for the most part, I like Nick.
I think he's sick of us.
He's sick of us, and and we're sick of him.
And he's sick of Rob too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know that's
it's gonna be if they have to like. They both walking out that front door, like who's going to let who walk through the door first?
And you do have to replace him because he has. I mean, he is a productive player. He's not a bum. He's an average to when he's a slightly above average player. That makes more than his production actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as concerned if it's going this way with him. Like it seems like he's on the downturn. Just by the numbers this year.
It wasn't a good sign. They've been trying to train him for years, and there's nobody.
Right.
There's nobody.
So yes, you do have to replace him. There has to be production replaced there. I can imagine, with all the money they're going to have to spend, get ready for us to be talking about a platoon in one of those outfield spots over the offseason with the moves they make.
Oh yeah, for sure. But this is where you need young players that aren't making any money to come up and be productive. And now you're going to be counting on Crawford to come up and actually be a productive starter. Whether he's capable or able to do that right now, the dude's 22 years old.
Right. Yeah, and it's probably going to be piecemealing together some things. Like I can't imagine them. Maybe they'll spend big money on an outfielder. I don't know if they will with all the checks they got to write elsewhere. Oh, I'm not ready for the offseason. I'm just so not ready for the offseason.
All right,
it's going to happen, but I'm not ready for it.
More texts, more calls coming up, 610-632-0975. Ray, what else do we have? I know we have the News at Noon coming out, a live News at Noon.
Yes, we have the live News at Noon coming up. We're going to get back to just the bunt again. I want to just hear Thompson say they're playing for a tie one more time, just for the new audience here. Just let them know.
Well, you want to get angry again?
Yeah, I do.
Let's get angry again. Live from Rally House on Baltimore Pike in Springfield. It is, am I Midday Marks? I'm Midday
Middays with Marks, yeah.
I'm Midday Marks, you're Midday Ray.
Yeah.
Marks and Ray. Fanatic. There you go.
Start your morning off right with some coffee and
to Middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Just left on left. We're trying to tie the score. I liked where our bullpen was at based on as compared to theirs, so we played for the tie at home.
It seemed like the Dodgers were expecting it. Was there any thought of taking it off after?
Well, Mookie did a great job of disguising the wheel play, and we teach our guys that if you see wheel, just go ahead, pull it back and slash, because you got all kinds of room in the middle.
That was Rob after the game. Rob Thompson. It's hard for me to be angry because I really, really like Rob. I do. I think
he's classic nice guy, but
yeah,
that's the conversation today. He's a real nice guy, but
this is a results business.
2 games,
and I've seen enough results over the last couple of years. He will if can they win a couple games and salvage it, or can he salvage his job? Probably, but ultimately. Like, haven't you seen enough with what this lineup looks like? Whether it's his fault or not, this is where guys lose their jobs, managers, coaches, when you don't produce. And John Middleton is writing big-time checks. The Phillies have one of the top payrolls in baseball year after year after year. So when your star players aren't producing, you have to bring somebody else in, a new voice. Just like with Joe Girardi. Same team, different voice. Look at the differences. You probably need to balance the nice guy Rob Thompson with somebody that maybe comes in and has a different strategy with getting these guys going.
Yeah, I mean,
where's Larry Boa?
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw already on Twitter after Jimmy Rollins did the breakdown of the wheel play last night that we already got people campaigning for Rollins to be the manager of the team.
As long as Brian Dawkins is the defensive coordinator of the Eagles.
Or what, not Seth? We got over Seth being the defensive coordinator?
Not now. When Fangio retires, B-Dog and Seth.
Okay,
You should get into coaching, Seth.
And, who do we want? Utley going to come back and teach him how to field? When Utley is the hitting coach, what do we want there?
Hitting coach.
And Hamels is already in the dugout a lot, so we could get him definitely be the pitching coach. Yeah, we'll just recreate 08 for this team.
Sounds good.
I mean, the thing is with Thompson, getting out-managed by Dave Roberts in this fashion is what's lost me. Like, Dave Roberts tried to hand you that game. He wanted you to win that game. They found a closer, and they decided, you know what, in the 9th inning of this game, we're not going to go to him. We have an off day tomorrow, but why not? We're just going to try and make this work with the guy. And it's embarrassing. Honestly, what they did, they basically said Trinan's going to get right against this lineup. We're going to get him right for the next postseason series. That's what that was. We're going to bring him in. We're going to build his confidence. He's going to be able to shut down this lineup. It's like borderline disrespectful how bad he's been. The fact that he was called on to be in that situation and pitch against the Phillies to try and lock up a 2-0 series lead. They tried to hand you that game. They really did.
I mean, it was a terrible move, regardless of them trying to get him going or not.
Yeah, it's a terrible move. No, but that's how disrespectful it was. It was like,
right.
Yeah, they're not hitting him. Why not?
Right.
And they try and get him out there, and he put the game in peril, and you weren't able to capitalize on it. Now you go to L.A., and now we're going to be up till midnight on Wednesday night trying to see if this season goes on another day. And we could stave off talking about what the outfield, what the infield, what the pitching staff, everything will look like come 2026 and whether or not the manager still has his job.
Yeah, I might be up till midnight. I might start drinking during the game, and I may fall asleep. We'll see. So we'll talk about the game tomorrow because Aaron Nola gets the start. This is my favorite thing that I've heard today. After the game, can you get this going there, Sean Rodman? After the game, he announces that, and listen to Matt Gelb, who's asking the questions. Matt Gelb sounds like an annoyed parent when he's questioning him. Here's Rob Thompson announcing that Aaron Nola is going to start Game 3 after the game.
Will Ranger start Game 3?
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Nola's never pitched out of the pen, so how long he goes, I don't know. But and I trust him.
Is there something health-wise with Suarez right now?
No, nothing.
No. Matt Gelb said all of us. What? Like just something health-wise? We need to. That's the first drop for the drop board. What's the reasoning behind that?
I didn't do my homework. What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, what's the reasoning behind that?
I didn't pick up my laundry. What's the reason behind that? Like
you got home at 1 o'clock in the morning. Curfew's 12. What's the reasoning behind that?
Reason.
What's the reasoning behind that? And here's the reasoning. Well, Nola's never pitched out of the bullpen before. Oh, great reason. So you're putting the guy with a 6 point whatever ERA To start game 3 at do or die.
Yeah. No.
He never pitched out of the bullpen.
Again, this is my fault. I made too many Aaron Nola's going to pitch an elimination game jokes over the last couple weeks, and this is on me. I totally talked this one to an existence. I just want to know if you work in like the analytics department for the Phillies today. Like you hear that last night. Obviously, you probably knew it before, but like how are you taking that news?
What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, like literally, like you're sitting there like, all right, Rob, this is the way we'd line up the series. Is any of them in that room saying, hey, Nola should start game 3?
And here's what makes what ticks me off more than anything when I hear that is, okay, so we agree this was the plan all along. I mean, they just didn't decide. Like Rob Thompson didn't unilaterally after the game say, you know what, I think I'm going to start Nola. This was their plan going into the series, correct?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
It had to have been. Right?
So if that's the case, how have you not used Ranger Suarez in any of these games? How is he not a featured reliever in game 1? Whether Sanchez goes 4 innings or he goes 6 innings, who do you want on the? Do you want Robertson or you want Ranger Suarez? I want Ranger Suarez coming out of the pen in a higher leverage situation.
Robertson,
runners on base.
He got out of that 6th inning. You could have handed it over to Suarez the same way they handed it over to Glass now, if this was the plan the whole time. Now, like I'm trying to figure out the justification because we say was this the plan all along? Like. There's part of me that's like trying to get irrational here, trying to get crazy, and like the ultimate gamesmanship where he's like, Nola's starting. He's like, nah, just kidding, man. Like we're rolling with Ranger. Like I think that because I can't actually fathom the idea that they're going to open up a game. Ohtani's going to come to the plate, and on the other side, it's going to be Aaron Nola throwing in fastballs.
I didn't even think of that.
Like the first, like that's what you're going to get. Like you're going to the first thing. Let me paint the picture for you. It's going to be 9 o'clock at night. You are going to be up all night watching this team, and at 9 o'clock, you're going to be subjected to the top 3 of this order in the first inning in Dodger Stadium, and after the top 3 of this order, then in the bottom of that inning, you're going to get Aaron Nola pitching to Shohei Ohtani. That's going to be the beginning of your night. It's going to be 9 o'clock. You're going to be spent all night getting ready for this game, and that's what you're going to be greeted with by the Phillies.
What's the exit velocity that it's going to hit Ohtani? Like 130 off the bat?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to build an extension on the stadium to keep that one in.
All right, that's tomorrow. Coming up next, we'll take some more reaction here. 610-632-0975. The text board's been hot and heavy. 610-632-0975. The news at noon. The stories you don't care about from the guy you don't care about. That's Ray Dunn.
It's the fastest growing segment in radio.
And it is the slowest growing radio and segment, and we don't care. And we're going to do it live. We're not going to write it. As Bill O'Reilly once said, we're going to do it live. F it. We're live at Rally House, Baltimore Pike in Springfield. News at noon, and your reaction is coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Season on the brink. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night, falling behind 2-0 in the National League Divisional Series to the Dodgers. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight batters at one point, but between he, Orion Kirkring, and Matt Strahm, the Phillies allowed 4 runs in the 7th. Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th, put a pair of runs across in the 9th inning. The Phillies bunted with Nick Castellanos on second. No one out in that 9th inning. Castellanos was thrown out third. The Phillies were unable to find the tying run in that inning. Thompson defended that decision, not pinch running Castellanos, and also let us know a little bit of a surprise he has for you for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
Aaron Nola getting the start in Game 3 for the Phillies with the season on the line Wednesday night in L.A. at 9:08. Elsewhere, the Eagles are preparing for the Giants on Thursday Night Football. They didn't practice yesterday, but both Saquon Barkley and Landon Dickerson appeared on the injury report as did not practice. It's an estimation for that as we look forward to that game Thursday night. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Kincade and Salciunas, 6 to 10 a.m. Middays with Marks, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Unfiltered from 2 p.m. to
Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic today, live at Rally House, Baltimore Pike in Springfield, Delaware County. John Marks, Ray Dunn. Tomorrow, Amy Fadul will be on the program. And then we're going to have some guest hosts the rest of the week as well, which we're not announcing right now.
We are?
No, we are not. We are not. I'm saying Amy's going to be on tomorrow, but we do.
No, I was saying we're having guest hosts the rest of the week.
We are.
What?
We are.
Oh.
You're the last to know.
Always
And
around
that's
here.
how I like it. Your grandmother came in to say hello?
Yes. Great to see Granny.
What, you call her Granny?
I do. Was that where you're going with the next question? What do you call her?
Yes.
Granny.
Granny.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because, like today, a lot of you have to have different, you can't be like grandma or you have to have this. Like my mom is Nina. Nina. Nina.
Nina. Not her name, just what they call
Not her name, but that's what she's called. Nina.
Yes.
My mother-in-law is Teta. But they're all she's Palestinian, so it's like it's Teta. My dad is Poppy, and then Papa is my father-in-law with the kids.
Got it.
But I prefer a good old-fashioned mom, which was I had mom and Mimi.
Got it. Yeah, well, I got Granny and Nana.
And then Pop and Pop. So I had two Pop-Pops. I had one Mom, and I had a Mimi. But it just feels like today, that's why it surprised me. It's like, hey, Granny.
Yeah, Granny and Pop-Up.
I love it.
Yeah, that's that grandparents. And Nana. Nana's the Italian grandmother, if you can't tell.
Oh, man.
Yeah. She's the one, if she heard that I hadn't been in confession in 8 years, she'd be pretty upset.
You would have to go to confession immediately.
Yeah. No, I don't think she'd be very happy about that. Granny, nice hug right there. She said she's proud of me. Very happy. Good that she can make it out here.
And Ray, she should be proud of you. You're a fine young man.
I try my best.
Well, and for the most part. I'm sure there's a lot of things that she would not be happy with.
Yeah, well.
Like last night.
Last night, I didn't do anything crazy last night. I kept it, I did go out for the game, but I kept it very, very PG last night.
Oh, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. The 12 o'clock hour of the program brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. You can learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. It is time for the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for...
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
The News at Noon.
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
With Ray Dunn.
That's right. It's the stories you don't care about from the radio host you don't care about. I honestly forgot, I'll be honest with you. With all the Philly stuff we had today, I was like, what was it, the news at noon? We're going to start with Jonathan Gannon.
So you're telling me this segment's going to suck because you forgot about it?
No, I know. I put it together. Okay. It's just that I don't remember putting it together because I was so locked in on it being upset about the Phillies that I was like, oh, yeah, news at noon is happening today. Yeah. So Jonathan Gannon, a little bit of hot water. Did you catch this, John?
I did.
All right. So running back Amari DeMarcado dropped the football running into the end zone on what would have been a game-sealing touchdown for the Cardinals in their eventual loss to the Titans. Gannon was spotted on the sideline smacking his running back on the arm, and he woke up Monday morning and just didn't feel right about it. Here's Gannon issuing his apology.
I woke up this morning and didn't feel great about it, honestly. So in the team meeting, I addressed it. I apologized to Amari, apologized to the team. I just told him I kind of let the moment of what happened get the better of me there. I try to be emotionally stable and calm because my job is to solve problems during a game and kind of lead the charge on that. So it's not really who I am, who I want to be, and I told the guys that today. So it's a mistake by me, and it's just like everybody in there. Everybody made some type of mistake yesterday, which is, culminates to why we didn't win the game, and we can't let it happen moving forward.
I can't imagine if I interviewed him for a job and I heard him talking to me that I would hire him to be a head coach, a coordinator or whatever.
That's all we heard. He was on the fast track to be a head coach. That man's going to be a head coach in this league.
And how's that worked out for Arizona?
Oh, swell.
Yeah, that team stinks.
Yeah.
And he stinks. And did you see the play that he was referring to?
Yeah.
The whole thing happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Deshaun Jackson. He celebrates before it goes over, and he was mad. I mean, I don't know. There's so many coaches these days that want to have this emotional intelligence where they come out of it. You know what? Something about a snarling, pencil in the ear head coach like Mike Vrabel or a lunatic like that. You know what? You know, that was a dumbass move to make, and it ended up costing the team the game.
Well, I do love he does get to that kind of at the end where he's like, I made a mistake just like everyone else in that room. That's why we lost. It's like, I'm not the only one making mistakes, guys. Talk about the other mistakes. That's the way it sounded to me. Also, Gannon in that clip, it again just proves how great a fit he was working with Sirianni. Those two dudes losing their minds on the sidelines. I mean, that they really, really two peas in a pod. One's really good, the other one's not. But in terms of the way they go about controlling their emotions on the sidelines, two peas in a pod.
Yeah, but, I mean, you've never seen Gannon really even have a pulse before, have you?
I mean, I've seen him get fiery. I mean, you remember before that MC Championship game in the car when he's saying we're going to... He's got an edge to him. He just wasn't in the spotlight the way Sirianni was. All right.
Whatever.
Speaking of being in the spotlight, let's go to Paul Feinbaum. Is he on the outs at ESPN?
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, apparently, as he flirts with that Senate run and potentially leaving ESPN, I think he's thinking about Outkick was what was reported. It's been reported that he was pulled off a number of his spots on ESPN. Now, I believe he made his First Take appearance, and granted, First Take is Stephen A's world, and whatever Stephen A wants, he's going to get. But he has been pulled off a number of his spots, and then a caller wanted to get from him specifically what's going on. Let's take a listen to that call on the Feinbaum Show.
The only other thing I wanted to say, Paul, was I saw a blurb that you'd been pulled off of some of the ES.
Okay, let's continue here and talk to Don in Missouri.
Yeah, let's go to Don in Missouri.
He didn't get to all the way through the ESPN. He got ES, didn't get to PN.
Right, so he's not the one cutting off the caller, but he's cut off, and it took a little bit of time to recover, and it was...
awkward.
Very awkward. Just deny it. Just say, yeah, I saw that story was out there. It's totally untrue. I'll be back on First Take tomorrow.
Yeah, don't read the blogs, kids.
Yeah, and I don't, was he pulled? Was he not pulled? It was reported that he was, but then he was actually on some stuff. I mean, I don't know. But Paul, very quickly, the whole Paul Feinbaum thing is turning very awkward.
Yeah, very weird. And it's funny, like the two storylines. McShay was going to go after him regardless. It's just funny that as all this was happening, McShay went after him. And Feinbaum, if you want to make the run for the Senate, okay, go do your thing. Make the run for the Senate. Like, that's none of my business on this one. But it's just like a very awkward, flirtation that's happening right now. Like, are you going to do it? It's like the Bruce Pearl thing.
Yeah,
Bruce Pearl was the same thing. It was like weird flirtation with running for office.
People want to tune into the show to hear callers with 2 to 3 teeth in their mouth complain about Alabama losing games.
Al DeBoer, yeah.
That's it. That's why they listen. You think they care about you running for? I mean, they may vote for you because you're a college football guy, which is why you would run.
Right. Well, then as a politician, you also have to be at a lot of town halls. Like that has to be Paul Feinbaum's thing. He has to be the man of the people with that.
Oh yeah. Sure. I'm sure he'd be great with that.
Yeah. All right. Last thing for you here. News at Noon Classic. Bill Belichick has been one that I've covered extensively in the News at Noon. We're very intrigued with his life, personal life, everything going on. But you know it's bad when in 2025 local news is doing an investigative report on your program not even halfway through the season. So WRAL down there in Raleigh-Durham decided we got to investigate what's going on. They spoke to players, they spoke to parents, they spoke to trustees, they got anonymous sources, they're going after him. And let's just sum up their investigative report.
I'm hearing there's no culture, no organization. It is a complete disaster. Those are the kind of quotes I'm getting from sources with firsthand knowledge of the inner workings of Bill Belichick's football program. So we talked to players, parents, members of the coaching staff, the board of trustees, and the athletic department to try to paint a complete picture of what's going on behind the scenes here. According to sources, a divide formed naturally when Belichick was hired. Background players versus the transfers. The way Belichick has run the program hasn't bridged the gap. It's only made it grow.
All that money, they're getting crushed week in and week out by real teams. There's a breakup right now in the locker room. He was off, I think, somewhere in the Cape during the bye week with old Jordan. I mean, what a disaster.
So, since you like the story as much as I do, I'll give you a little tip. He does a radio show for whatever, I think whatever the flagship station is down there, where he does it like Michael Lombardi, who is his GM, right? Who is an absolute stuttering idiot. And he's about as dumb as any football executive that you would see. I mean, they're calling North Carolina the 33rd team.
Well, he left the 33rd team to go there, right?
I know, but they're gonna reinvent college football. No, you're gonna probably win 3 games, and it might be one and done. So they do this. So they'll have an opening segment. So it's really Lombardi, and then Belichick sits there and grunts and breathes into the microphone.
Right.
And we'll give you like 7-word answers, and that's it. And the play-by-play guy for North Carolina is the host of it. So it's a lot of fun.
Exactly getting the hard hitting.
Right. So, like, all right, well, thank you, Bill. We'll come back and we'll talk to Michael Lombardi. And then Lombardi will be like, we have to build the culture here, and everything's great, and patience, and we're making real progress. BS. That is a disaster, and anybody down there associated with North Carolina knows it was a mistake, and they can't wait to move on from it.
Allegedly, he is stopping them from posting Drake May content on UNC Twitter. Now, they did it after this report came out over the last 24 hours. They finally
put
did
it out afterwards.
Yeah, they acknowledged May's night, Sunday night.
Who was the running? Because the running back was getting big-time play on North Carolina football Twitter.
Card? No, Michael Carter wasn't.
I don't. Whoever it was,
right?
Whoever it was, they were putting out.
Football.
They couldn't stop putting out videos of this.
Yeah, they have not put anything out on Drake May until this report came out because he doesn't want any Patriots content on UNC Twitter.
No, Bill Belichick's being exposed as a fraud.
The May, by the way, that May family, remember Luke May, who was a part of that big UNC run?
Who could forget?
Yeah, you go against the Mays down there in UNC. Good luck. Good luck. That's a family that could run him out.
So what would be the equivalent to Temple?
I don't know. Who would you go against? That would be the
Mark Macon, the Macons?
Yeah, you go against the Nagandis?
The Nagandis.
I mean, I feel like that he's got a lot of power over there at Temple.
The late John Chaney, who legit is if not my favorite, top 3 Philadelphia sports personalities. Coaching the best.
Yeah.
The best. Back when I was a diehard Temple fan. You can bring that down there, Sean. Is that the last story?
Yeah, it was the last story.
Yeah, you can bring that down there, Sean. Yeah, John Chaney was the first team that I loved as a kid was the 87-88 Temple Owls. With Mark Macon as a freshman, Howie Evans, Tim Perry, Ramon Rivas. They had
Vrieswick.
Mike Vrieswick, who is a sports radio listener who I've gotten to know a little bit over the years. Great dude.
Has a million great Chaney stories.
His Chaney stories are, and like you'll see him tweet about John all the time because that's the impact he had on his life. The impact John Chaney had on his players, it's not even about basketball. It's about life. Like that, you're talking about a once in a lifetime human being. John Chaney. Love John Chaney. Great interview. Great guy. Can't say enough about John Chaney. Love him. All right, coming back. Don't necessarily love this guy. Yeah, Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams, that's who it was. There you go.
They were putting because he had a big day for the Cowboys.
Yes, he did against the Jets. Yeah, the Jets this weekend. Because now Aaron Glenn apparently is going to go. I saw that Francesa now has got the people up in New York ready to go after Aaron Glenn now.
Yep.
Every coach that goes up there, is it always the coach's fault or is it just bad organization?
Every Jet coach that stinks, it's got to be his fault. It's not everything else. All right, coming up. Back into the Philly stuff. We also have some Eagles conversation to get into. Jeff Moser is going to join us around 1 o'clock. But what do we have coming up there, Ray Dunn?
Yeah, we'll get into the Eagles conversation coming up at the 12 o'clock hour. But last night had a lot of people upset, including our good friends on the postgame show, who went viral for this fight over the pinch running situation with Castellanos. We'll play that for you coming up.
This is good. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. Don't go anywhere.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Real sports talk you can trust.
No rage bait, no fluff, just on.
Now, more Middays with Marks.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks. Ray Diggity Dunn is here. We're live at Rally House, Baltimore Pike in Springfield. And we'll be here till 2 o'clock, so stop on out. The gear is amazing. I would love to just get a shopping cart like Supermarket Sweep. Do you remember Supermarket Sweep, Ray?
No.
Of course not. It was a game show where when you hear that beep, think of the fun you can have on Supermarket Sweep. They more or less would do like these games to where you're getting time, and then you go out and then you're trying to fill your shopping carts up with the most amount of merchandise, and then the person would win. Whatever and it'd be like a team of 2 people, husband, wife, sisters, friends, or whatever, and then whoever would have the most at the end would win, and then they would get like the ending where they got a chance to win even more money and prizes and things.
Interesting.
So I would like to do that here, and it's not a smash and grab. I wouldn't want to do that, but there's so many items here that I would love to get. You were eyeing that
sweatshirt, that cream-colored Philly sweatshirt looks really nice.
See, I like that. I actually was looking at the
maroon
windbreaker next to it because it has a hood.
Also a nice item.
It is.
Yeah, those are some good stuff. I was perusing back there. I got to the Owls section. There's a couple good Temple things. I went over the Sixers section. There's a couple nice Sixers gear, and of course, I'm going to probably end up behind here. I'm thinking I might walk out of here with something Eagles.
Jen Squirto has a ladies Philadelphia Eagles. It's low cut,
nice,
right there. That is cute. That's really nice. Olivia was just modeling one of our like almost like Vanna White. We were just talking about game shows. She was modeling one of the. So a ton of great stuff here. You name it. Eagles, Phillies, Union.
Yeah,
Union stuff.
Good Union stuff here too.
There you go. There you go. And the Eagles, I'm sure, are going to win a game the rest of the season. I don't know if they're.
I don't know, man.
That's coming up later on in the program. All right. In 1 second, we're going to play you they were fighting last night on Postgame Live. Our own Ricky Batalco was yelling. Let's get a couple texts in here first.
Yeah, we got an unnamed texter with the game was lost on that crap throw from Turner. You can't trust him defensively. I don't care what the metrics say. That was a text we got earlier when we were having that conversation.
So just something on that. I mean, really, the fact that they weren't able to stop the bleeding and get out of that inning with just 2 runs. Lazard pitched too well to be down 4-0.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. You get out, and now it's all right. It's 2-0. That sucks. The fact that it was 4-0 was really, really deflating. The fact that they even came close to coming back I'm still amazed by it.
Yeah. Devastating on that end. And then we got a very simple text earlier that this is a group of losers. That was the entirety of the text. I forget where the texter where they were coming from.
It doesn't matter.
But,
it doesn't matter. Well, if Schwarber and Harper and Trey Turner are going to have this type of impact, then the Phillies aren't winning anything, period. So when you look ahead to next year and you say, are you going to run it back, there's going to be some moves that are made, but are the impact moves?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that you could change of that top 3 is Schwarber because of the contract. I mean, you're not moving Turner. You're not moving Harper. Like, I don't know who's signing up to take one of those contracts, and I'm not advocating for them to move off of those contracts. But
yeah, but you had these are the players that have to be productive and have to lead you. And
right.
If they're not going to, you're not going to win. Period.
Yeah.
Can you get any better starting pitching? I know Zach Wheeler was out, but seriously, you have Duran now, so you have your closer here for years to come.
Yeah, and here's the thing: they could go out and spend big money on a relief pitcher, and the Dodgers have shown you that this year. You could spend as much as you want on your bullpen. They're bullpen pitchers. They're finicky year to year. Like, that's just how this works.
You're right.
Oh, yeah, you have to beef up that bullpen. Romano, you spend big money there. I'm not exactly huge on the whole, invest multiple year heavy money into relievers. That's kind of a...
Yeah, until they stink. No, you're right. They're year to year. You can get a guy that is you're signing to almost like a minor league contract. They can be lights out,
right?
And then you can
sign Jeff Hoffman, emerging here.
And then you can sign a guy to a big contract, and you're designating him for assignment because he stinks. Jordan Romano.
Yep, great stuff. Very encouraging.
All right, last night, NBC Sports Philadelphia postgame live. So who's there? It's Michael Barkan, Ricky Bowe,
Ben Davis, and Rube.
All right, and Phillies lose. Here's how it sounded.
My dad used to say, I don't care what he did, I want to know what you did. And what Rob Thompson did was not pinch run. He bunted with Stott when he could have
pinch run.
Who's he going to pinch run? He could have pinch run.
He could not have pinch run the guy.
How could he not have pinch run?
He could not have pinch run the guy because he had to hold on Bader. Bader could not run the bases.
I would have let
only hit.
Ruben, I would have let Bader walk.
You would have to
let him walk the second. The run scores.
The man, he would have been done if he would have had to run. He probably would have.
I wouldn't have had him run, but that's how you got to be thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, Michael, I hear you, but unfortunately, you had to leave Castellanos in because you did not have a pinch runner. You're going to put Marchand in there.
I see the logic of the pinch running thing. Like, it's not something I totally dismiss, but I always operate on the logic of if in that moment I wasn't sitting there yelling about it, it's not something that I'm going to hold against them. Like, I like to think if I'm an armchair manager, I was not sitting there last night at Stateside Live like, oh, get Castellanos off second base. I didn't have that thought in that moment.
And that Stateside Live thing just rolls right off your tongue. I only remember what the new sponsorship is, and you're just like, man,
I keep forcing myself to say it.
No, you're there all the time. Muscle memory.
I've been there a few times.
If Rojas was on the roster and healthy, and he was sitting on the bench, he would have been at second base.
Correct.
And it may or may not have changed what happened at third base. Maybe it would have. Maybe he would have gotten the same stupid read off the bat as Nick Castellanos. Like, I don't know. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, you put us, Chris Sanchez is fast. Oh, yeah, put Chris Sanchez at second base, who hasn't probably run a base in his life.
Again, you're probably going Weston Wilson there, and then you're selling out for the win. When Bader gets the hit, you're going to have Marchand run for him. And at that point, like, if you tie the game, you are screwed defensively if you don't get to extra innings. He told you he was playing for the tie. The pinch running suggestion is that he was playing for a tie. He wanted to tie that baseball game. He did not think that they were going to sell out and win it in that moment. I don't know why. With a man on second, nobody out, and you're starting to get to that Dodgers bullpen, you're not selling out to win that game. But Rob Thompson, every decision he made, give him credit for what one thing. He told you the truth. He was playing for a tie. He was playing for 4-4. Every decision lines up with a guy that was like, I just want to get to extras. And to me, you have them on the ropes, and you're like, you know what? Let me step back. You regain yourself, and then punch me. Yeah. That's what it was. If this was boxing, you have him on the ropes, you were ready to knock him out, and instead you're like, whoa. Fix yourself up. I'll step back here. All right, let's fight again. Like that to me, that was the mentality.
Yeah, we'll give you a standing 8 count to regroup.
Yeah, get better. Get up. Get off the mat. That's what it was.
All right, let me get a call in here. Let's go to, let's try Al in North Philadelphia. Al, go ahead. How are you? Al, hello. Can you punch him up there? I'm assuming you're punching him up there, Sean.
He's up.
All right. Not great with the phones today. Let's try Zach calling from Delaware. Zach, what's up? Go ahead.
How's it going?
All right. Zach, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I mean, listen, it was a lot last night. I mean, my one thing is, which I don't get, to throw the home from Turner, why not walk the batter in that situation to get the force out? I just don't understand that to begin with.
Yeah, it's a good point. I was wondering the same thing in that situation. You got the out. You'd one out there, correct?
I think it was no outs.
Was there no outs still?
Was it not?
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, make them make that hit, make them force, and then you have to force out. You don't have to worry about Turner making a throw. But then, that being said, obviously with the bunt, it makes no sense. But I just, after last night, I cringe. Just going back to last year, why was this decision made to run this team back? I want to know why. And whose decision was this? I want to hear what Rob had to say. I want to hear what Dave has to say and Middleton has to say. I mean, it's the definition of insanity. Going back to the Diamondbacks loss, it absolutely drives me nuts.
All right, good stuff, man. I don't think that they tried to move Bohm. They were looking to possibly move Marsh. It's just that there were no takers. Dombrowski, he was shooting for, hey, we're going to get Logan Gilbert or a starting pitcher from Seattle.
You valued your players a little bit too much.
Correct.
And I get you don't want to sell a guy low. And, we could have seen them end up with a third baseman that's not Alec Bohm's quality. And I know Bohm drives people nuts, and I'm not exactly thrilled to be on the Bohm train today. But, you could have ended up in a worse situation offensively. You tried to overvalue him. You didn't see anything there. Nobody wanted Castellanos again last offseason. You weren't able to really maneuver it where you felt like you were going to put together a great roster. I do think that they did go into last offseason with we're going to have a potential contract reset year after 25, and we're not going to spend big money on extensions because we have to spend big money next offseason.
Right.
And that could hurt you in the long run. But I get why people are upset about them running it back. I mean, I was the loudest person.
They can't do it next year.
When they signed Kepler, I was like, that doesn't solve any of your problems. And they signed Romano, and he made your problems worse.
We're right back to where we were last year. There was one out at that point. Kirkering comes in, gets a strikeout, which is like, all right. So do you have a run? It's runners on second and third. Do you put Hernandez on? Now you have the bases loaded with Muncy coming up, and now you're going for the double play. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, in that situation though, you're going to end up with righty. I guess if you. Because if you end up walking him, you're going to end up. He still has to face Muncy, so Muncy's going to be his third batter. So he's end up going to face a lefty with the bases loaded. They're probably looking at that like, oh man.
Yeah,
like,
I don't. In the moment, I was wondering. Do you really want to put him on there just so you have the force? But the whole idea with Kirkering is he can get swings and misses, which he did. He got the first out,
and he induced weak contact.
He sure did.
Like he ended up screwed by the fact that he didn't hit the ball harder. Like you tell a pitcher that you got weak contact, you take it.
And Turner, if he throws the ball even 1 foot over towards the runner, it's an out.
Yep. And there's another world where, I don't know, he throws it first, they end up down 1-0, but you're not confident in your bats at that point. You're playing for the tie. Like, you want to keep that game tied.
All right. We're live at Rally House, 610-632-0975, with your phone calls, with your texts. Good reaction today out of the fans. If you're still angry at 12 o'clock, 610-632-0975. Ray, what else do we have coming up here?
We got plenty of reactions still to get to from our phone lines, our text lines, but we're going to get into this really in the 12 o'clock hours we lead up to Jeff Mosher. Apparently a peace offering, a peaceful meeting. I don't know how you want to describe it, but a meeting of the minds that occurred for the Eagles offense.
A long conversation between the power players in the Eagles offense. We'll tell you about that coming up after this. We're live from Rally House, Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Season on the brink. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night, falling behind 2-0 in the NLDS. Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight at one point. Between he, Orion Kirkering, and Matt Strom, though, the Phillies did allow 4 runs in the 7th. Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th, a pair of runs in the 9th. They had the tying run on second, nobody out, and Nick Castellanos was thrown out at third as they bunted to try and move him over. Phillies were unable to get that tying run in the 9th. Rob Thompson defended the decision after the game to bunt, not pinch run for Castellanos, and let's all know about a surprise for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
Yep, Aaron Nola, your starter for Game 3 in L.A. Wednesday night at 9:08. Elsewhere, the Eagles preparing for the Giants on Thursday night. Didn't practice yesterday, but the estimated injury report did have Saquon Barkley as Landon Dickerson as did not practice. This update is brought to you by Rapid Reyes. Rapid Reyes instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidreyes.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Philadelphia
You trust us. Team coverage continuing here of the Phillies down 2-0 to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Along with Ray Dunn, I am John Marks. Good afternoon.
I'm upset. I'm still upset, John. I haven't gotten any better. In fact, I've gotten worse.
Well, I'm sober now.
That's good. That's good.
The bottle of booze that I drank last night is worn off.
That's good. How you feeling?
I feel great. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Everything is. Aaron Nola starting game 3. I mean, at least you had a guy with a 6+ ERA to lean on to save your season.
What was the sip you took when you heard that?
I kind of blacked out after that. I actually recorded a video, and luckily I didn't sound like I was under the influence.
Yeah.
That I
Good
put
work
out there.
by you. Yeah. No, I made my way over. I mentioned Stateside Live last night watching the game, and I had a couple, and I was hanging out with my buddy. My buddy actually got moving, got out of there, and I was like, I'll have one more, wrap up the night. And I saw the NOLA news, and I went from the nice cold domestic beer I've been having. I was like, that Orange Crush bar looks pretty good over there. I'm gonna go have one of those. And I walked into, it's probably the saddest scene in the world. I walked into PBR, where the bowl is and all that stuff, and nice, wonderful people around me, and I was just sitting with the Orange Crush, just my face in my hands.
Yeah.
My face in my hands. I'm not even enjoying the atmosphere I'm in. I was like, it was nothing against Stateside Live. It was just everything of I was just thinking about how crushing it's going to be to talk about it for 4 hours and then live the entire off season leading into it.
Yep.
Yeah. I was a broken man last night. Still kind of am today.
All right. Let's see what Bill in Utah.
Oh, Bill.
I think we should be international. I heard the caller from Argentina earlier. We're going to Utah to talk to Bill. Bill, go ahead. How are you?
Hey, how y'all doing there? Nice and cold out here in Utah, man. I woke up, it was 41 degrees.
Not as cold as my heart right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so listen, I want to real quick on the Phils. I do believe that they can come back and win the series, but I'm not getting my hopes up simply for the fact they just don't look good. So here's my question. If the Phillies are done, do you think we are going to, kind of rebuild, Tauber's job on the line, or you kind of tweak things and re-sign Harper, let Castellano go, or you just kind of ride this out until the wheels fall off completely?
Thank you, Bill. Well, Bryce Harper is signed for many, 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 many more years.
6 more.
So he's not going anywhere. They're not going to blow it up. They are going to try to tweak it and hope that the moves that you make will be effective and work. Because the reality is right now that the core of this team is what it is. When you signed Trey Turner, that was the last big move that you had. Yeah, you're going to re-sign Schwarber, or maybe they're not going to re-sign Schwarber. Maybe Schwarber's decided that it's better to go elsewhere. I mean, I don't know. I would be shocked if John Middleton says, yes, Kyle Schwarber can leave. When Dave Dombrowski talked about it, he was like, yeah, you lose players sometimes. So, Dave Dombrowski's been around too long to lose sleep over losing Kyle Schwarber, because they're losing with Kyle Schwarber. They haven't won a World Series. They've taken a step back every year with Kyle Schwarber. But when you're John Middleton and you have 81 home games and you have to sell tickets, the Phillies they're spending a lot of money because they're making a lot of money. Citizens Bank Park is rocking. When you have a guy that hits 56 home runs, what does the offense look like without Kyle Schwarber?
Well, exactly. And what does the season look like without him? You don't win the division without him.
You don't win the division without him. You're right.
And that, to me, there you go. You have to pursue bringing it back.
They did win by 12 games, so maybe you.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm sorry. I forgot the losers that participated in this division this year. You probably still do win the division, but we may have sweated a little bit more.
Yeah, with 86 games, you win the division.
Yeah, no,
96.
We might have been talking about the end of the season. The Mets might have been we could still do it in the last week of the season, and they're losers, cowards, and their season's been over.
They
for a
are,
week, so.
and it feels so good, but it doesn't feel as good today because now
I'm getting clowned by Mets fans last night. I can't do this.
Yep, that's okay. We enjoyed it while we could.
I tried.
We'll talk about this coming up. More Phillies conversation as well. A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts, according to Jimmy Kempski of the Philly Voice, had a long, positive conversation yesterday that lasted a couple of hours.
Ooh.
This according to Jimmy Kempski. So here's what I'm trying to figure out. What conversation are they having that lasts a couple of hours? Are they just hanging out and cutting it up and bonding? Maybe watching some TV or eating dinner or something like that. Regardless, it is good if this happened, and I have no reason to think that it didn't happen, and it's exactly what they should do. If Devontae Smith isn't going to be involved in it, that's perfectly fine. But Saquon, AJ, and Jalen Hurts, they're the three alphas on the team, and everybody needs to be pulling in the same direction. And based on their comments after the game, everybody's not pulling in the same direction, obviously. Getting these guys on the same page, the only way they're going to win anything this year, and there's a lot of football to be played, is if these guys all are saying, yes, we can win and we know what we're doing. So I would say it was a positive sign to see this. And by the way, and Jimmy's a great reporter, this is put out there for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
So an idiot like me can be like, oh, yeah, things are great. These guys are hanging out and playing. They play PlayStation. What do people?
I think Jalen's a big ping pong guy, if I remember correctly.
Playing ping pong.
Believe he's a big ping pong guy. So maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah, this is good to see because the thing I said yesterday was like, what are we doing here? Like the cryptic Instagram, Twitter post, like just get in the same room and talk. So they got in the same room, they talked. That's a good start to this whole thing. Saquon probably won trying to broker piece. Saquon, Jalen, say something you like about AJ. AJ, say something you like about Jalen. And then, we go down that line of like trying to rebuild a little bit of the relationship there. So hopefully that's what it was. And that they got on the same page offensively at some point in that meeting after they got past the whole personal thing.
So you're saying, as somebody that has been in marriage counseling before, you're saying that Saquon Barkley was playing the role of therapist.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And Jalen, because you know what? I don't know if there's anybody else that you can put in that room that's going to be heard
the way Saquon
is. The way Saquon is, because Nick Sirianni's the coach, right? So he's going to be looked at as the coach, right? As an authority figure. Saquon is, dude, you just ran for 2,000 yards. You had an all-time NFL season. We won the Super Bowl. You got something to say. I'm going to hear it.
Right.
So it's if that's the way it went down, whether it was something that the Eagles arranged, that the Eagles said, hey, Saquon, how about this? Or it's something that Saquon put on himself. Regardless, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great. That's what I wanted. That's what I asked for yesterday. So I'm not going to criticize them for doing what I asked for yesterday. I wanted you to talk it out. You talked it out. Hopefully things get better from here.
All right, Jeff Mosher's going to join us coming up towards the top of the hour because he looks at the film. He gets the pack of cigarettes and the coffee, and he goes into the film room, and he doesn't come out until he's thoroughly examined everything. And he's done that.
Yes.
He's emerged for air, and he's going to tell us what is wrong with this Eagles offense. That's coming up before the top of the hour. What's coming up next there, Ray Dunn?
Yeah, we got a lot more text to get into, and we got some of the Phillies' reaction too. I want to play that Bohm clip for you again about these guys just pushing. They're trying too hard right now.
Will I be able to get through the Bohm clip?
No.
I was not able to get through it earlier.
No, but we'll play it for you again.
All right, you have to set your stopwatch to see how long I last before I tap out.
Okay.
All right? That's coming up. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. Don't go anywhere.
Now, a Fanatic Phillies playoff update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's not going well. I'm Ray Dunn. This update's brought to you by Corona. Go ahead and turn any game into your own beach oasis with an ice-cold Corona this red October. Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Drink responsibly. Yeah, it's not going great. They're down 2-0 in the series. Last night, they lost 4-3. You could go through a number of different things. That seventh inning, they brought Ryan Kerkering in with an error, did runners. Between Jesus Luzardo, who left the start, who had a tremendous start throughout most of it, retiring 17 straight batters at one point, and Matt Strom. There you go. There's 4 runs allowed in the 7th. The Phillies try to scratch across a run in the 8th, and then a pair of runs there in the 9th, but the bunt decision ends up costing them, and they end up not getting the tying run across. It just wholesale for them. Now down 2-0 in the NLDS, the Dodgers, it's do or die time come Wednesday night in Los Angeles. And after the game, Rob Thompson told you Aaron Nola is going to be the starter for that Game 3. So Wednesday night, 9:08, that's the matchup. That's the season for the Phillies. And that is basically where you're at right now in terms of the postseason. I'm Ray Dunn on your home of the MLB playoffs, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
right, we're back live at Rally House in Springfield, Delco, Baltimore Pike. Here till 2 o'clock. Stop on out. I was watching Ray's just pacing the store, and I heard him talking to himself saying, I can't believe we're down 2-0. Like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm like, Ray, wake up. Get out of it.
I'm not getting out of it. Maybe tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow.
That's okay. You shouldn't have to.
Yeah, no, it's going to be because tomorrow I'll get out of it tomorrow, probably around like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Because there was a moment yesterday, for everyone that knows how down I've been about this series, there was a moment yesterday where I was starting to hype myself up. I was sitting there in the lots, having a beer with my parents, like, yeah, you guys are going to go in there and you're going to see something special tonight. Like, yeah. It was really after I left them because they were like, you're really down on this team. You got to figure it out. And then I was locking into Stateside Live. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe tonight. I think it was just a little liquid confidence.
Jen Scordo's here with us today. Jen, I think we need this series to end because Ray he's not in good shape right now. I don't know if he can handle a 5-game series or another series.
Oh,
you talk about me with a puke
series. I'm in a great spot.
Hold on, you talk about me with a puke bucket. I may have to take you to a hospital or something. What the hell's wrong with you?
I'll call the therapist, see if I get another appointment.
You're too young to be like this. You don't have any wrinkles. This is going to cause premature wrinkles. So just calm down.
And you've known nothing but good sports in your lifetime. You didn't live a rough sports life like me.
But like, this is the thing. Remember I said to you that Saturday night after I got done in the Union radio booth when I'm driving home and it's starting to hit you, like what happened to the Phillies. I had the thought Saturday night, I was like, man, there's a good chance I'm never going to see Harper go down Broad Street.
Yeah, there is a good chance.
Like, I just remember where I was when he signed, and I was like, 13 years, we're getting the prime of Bryce. Like, all right, there's a trophy.
Yeah, at least one.
And here we are.
At least one.
We're beyond halfway, and I'm ready to, I've already read the eulogy of the season.
They came close. Okay, you have your stopwatch out on your phone. You don't have an actual stopwatch. You just have to.
No, I don't wear a watch.
No. Or, but what I'm thinking is like Herb from Northeast Philly with the actual stopwatch around his neck.
Like
he's timing the 40. Yeah. All right. Alec Boehm earlier, what is he talking about?
He's talking about pressing when it gets tough.
So he starts talking, and I just started screaming, stop it. I couldn't take it anymore. So Ray's going to hit start. Here's Alec Boehm after the game.
I think you're trying so hard that you just, whatever it is, you just kind of, it just gets you. You just kind of, I don't know how to explain what happens in those spots, but everything's so heightened, and you're just so hyper-focused that you see something and you don't even know, like, why you swung or what, like, it just happens. So, that's just the part of the game where you got to slow it down as best you can and stay within yourself and just try to hit a little line drive up the middle or something. So, hard game, obviously, especially, you guys see it, everything's...
All right, I've had it. Stop it. I can't do it.
37 seconds.
And how long was that cut? 50-some seconds or whatever?
I mean, you got through a decent amount.
Do you know why? Because I got lost in the cut, and I'm thinking, has he said anything yet? What is he talking about? And then I was thinking he sounds like he's on a gummy or something, or he's stoned. And he did a bong hit before he went out to speak to the media. He's like, yeah, it's, and it's like you're up there, and you're like, why? Like, dude, after the game one, this is probably the highlight of this team for me. The game one comeback in the World Series. Mm-hmm. Thought they were going to win. Yeah. I was out there. I went back to the team hotel. I'm drinking with John Middleton. Nice. I'm hanging out with Scott in L.A., and the family's there of all the players. The players aren't there. The family's there. Alec Boehm's parents are, because remember, Boehm, that year, it was get me to bleep out of here.
Right.
So I'm having a moment with Alec Boehm's mom. Not that kind of a moment, where I'm saying, you know what, man, like, I'm really proud of your son. Like, there's so many players in Philadelphia that they wouldn't be able to last, man. Like, I got, like, my eyes are watering up because I'm talking about this great moment. And I'm like, you know what? Like, he really persevered. And, like, you know what? Like, man, he's really, this is awesome. What a great story. And then they end up losing the series, and now I hate him. But, in that moment, everything was right in the world.
Everything was right in the world. I always think leaving Game 3. When I went to Game 3 and they just hit all those home runs. They were up 2-1. They had 2 more home games. I was like, wow.
We're going to win.
Went to that game with my dad. I was like, we're going to get to go to a parade. Like, that's going to be awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I was sitting before Game 4, broadcasting live from Citizens Bank Park, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to have to get Bryce Harper tattooed on my back because I told him that in spring training. I'm like, oh, my God, what am I doing? And they took care of that for me.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't get a hit. Last night there was a part of the game where I was like, wow, is Snell going to do it? I was like, he's walked a few guys, but I was like, no hitter. I was like, is it on the table here? It's the type of at-bats I thought.
All right, coming up, we have Jeff Mosher. And hang tight, we're going to get to everybody's reaction coming up. 610-632-0975. Text board, 610-632-0975. But Jeff Mosher has examined the Eagles film, and he's going to tell us exactly and precisely what the hell is wrong with this team and this offense. I hope.
I think he will.
Maybe. He questions the answers and answers the questions. That's coming up next. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
They're down 2-0 in the series. I'm right done with this Fanatic Sports Update. It becomes more and more difficult to talk about this game as more and more we talk about it. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night. They're now down 2-0 in the National League Divisional Series. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight batters. At one point, though, between Orion Kirkring, and Matt Strom, the Phillies did allow 4 runs in the 7th. The Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th, and then a pair of runs in the 9th. They had the tying run on second. Nobody out. Bryson Stott laid down a bunt. Castellanos thrown out at third, and the Phillies were unable to find that tying run. Thompson defended the decision to have Bryson Stott bunt and did not pinch run for Castellanos postgame, as well as hitting us with a little bit of a surprise for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
Aaron Nola gets to start for Game 3 in L.A. Wednesday night at 9:08. Elsewhere, the Eagles are preparing for the Giants on Thursday Night Football. They didn't practice yesterday, but both Saquon Barkley and Lynn Dickerson listed as did not practice on the estimated injury report. I'm Bray Tunna on your home for the best Birds coverage, and I'm meant to tell you that this update is brought to you by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios instant push-to-talk walkie-talks nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Ray Tunna on your home for the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 thefanatic.com.
Yep, we're back live from Rally House. Correct. We are live in Springfield, Baltimore Pike. This is 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities, but we're not live there. We're at Rally House in Springfield. And joining us right now is our ace. He's emerged from the film room, and he's going to tell us exactly and precisely what is wrong with the Eagles' offense. His name is Jeff Mosher, Philly voice, inside the Birds. What's up, Jeff? How are you?
Hey, John. What's going on? You're putting the spotlight on me here. I have to diagnose everything that's wrong, huh?
Well, we talked last week, and more of the same problems. They had a good half. They had a bad half. When they have the bad halves, as you look back on these things, last 4 drives, I think, were 3 and outs. They got 1 first down. After that first, it was a really good drive to start the second half. What is happening when it snowballs and things aren't working?
Well, John, I had an idea. We do a show on Inside the Birds called Inside the Tape with Greg Cosell, who's so good at breaking down tape and understands every concept that there is in football. And we were talking about how the last 2 games, both the Buccaneers and the Broncos came out kind of like a house of fire with the blitzing. All right. And they paid the price for it because in both games, Jalen Hurts beat the blitz really badly, especially early on. And if you look at Hurts' career over the last 2-3 years, he is one of the best quarterbacks at beating the blitz, which makes sense. He likes to throw one-on-one outside the numbers, A.J. Brown, Smith, Goddard on the RPOs. I mean, he has great man beaters, and if you're going to blitz, you're usually playing man, and he's been able to carve it up. So I kept thinking to myself, well, I guess what's happening here is they're trying to blitz him. Todd Bowles tried to do it. Vance Joseph tried to do it. And then when they realize it doesn't work, they stop. They go more traditional coverage, and then you see that the Eagles haven't been able to respond well. In fact, Hurts' numbers versus regular coverage compared to the blitz are much worse. And then Greg said something to me where he said, well, maybe it's not that they're adjusting. Maybe that's the plan from the start. And it sort of made some sense to me. And again, we're all just theorizing here that with the Eagles being as good as they've been for 2.5 years now, longer than that, and so good offensively, maybe you sort of have to trick them and confuse them. And in doing so, you have to hurt yourself to hurt them. So if I went back and looked, and I did notice that a lot of the Broncos or third downs that you were referring to where they were successful late in the third and fourth quarter were where they were showing that they were going to blitz and then dropping at the last second. I mean, they were putting a lot of guys at scrimmage, and then all of a sudden they would sometimes just rush 3 and drop 8. But I'm sure when the Eagles offense was huddling and getting to the line, what they were seeing was, oh, yeah, they're coming after us, and we're going to have one-on-one. So that changes the picture at the snap for Hurts in the offense and presents a totally different look than they've been expecting. And I'm starting to think that maybe this is the trend. You have to be really comfortable, John, in your team, right, and how good you are as a team to be able to say, okay, I'll give up some shots in the first half if it means some points on the board for the sake of confusing them in the second half. But the Bucs and the Broncos are good teams, playoff teams. And so the Rams kind of did this too a couple of weeks ago. So I think that's an element of that, is that as the Eagles have gotten really good, teams are trying to find different ways to make them worse or cater to their weaknesses.
Manny Ramirez used to strike out on purpose in baseball because he was trying to set the pitcher up to hit a home run later on in the game. It's kind of that same philosophy, what they're doing. Let me ask you this. I was talking to somebody about Jalen, and he was also reviewing the film. And so what's going on? And he said, well, this has really always been the case with Jalen Hurts, is that everything is outside of the hash marks. There's very little in between the hash marks because he doesn't see this field well right there. And he's essentially, at this point, he's still a one-read quarterback. If his initial read isn't there, then he starts to get uncomfortable in the pocket and either runs or kind of bails from the pocket. When you look at Jalen, especially when he's struggling, are you seeing the same things?
Well, it's hard to know whether it's a reluctant or that he's not seeing it or doesn't feel confident of it. Only Jalen Hurts could tell you that. There are certainly examples on tape, and especially against the Broncos, where there are certain throws and route concepts where it's intended to just see it and rip it. And, we go through this on Inside the Tape that'll be out later today. Actually, it's already out, where he doesn't do that. But that is not anything new to Jalen or this offense. I mean, we've kind of had this conversation for a couple of years now, and the Eagles have managed to be able to overcome it and win. It obviously stands out when they lose, or it obviously stands out if they only win by the skin of their teeth, which they've been doing lately. But when they'll go on the streak where they'll play 5 or 6 teams that really aren't of their echelon, right? And offense looks a lot better, and they win. Maybe this will be the case Thursday night. And the conclusion we all come to is, yes, limitations as a passing offense. They are not, an intricate offense. They do what they do it well, and that seems to suit them just fine. It stands out when they play good teams and only escape. I mean, they did that for the first 2 playoff games last year, but then there are times where the magic button gets pushed, everything comes together, and then you get what you got in the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl.
How would you fix it? We're talking to Jeff Mosher, Inside the Birds. How would you fix it?
Oh, how would I fix it? Well, listen, I think that the biggest thing is they have to get the running game going again. Obviously, the RPO game was working pretty well for them in the first half against the Broncos. And the decision, I know people blame Patullo and the play caller, but when you're running RPOs, the play caller is the quarterback, right? Because you're either going to hand it off or you're going to throw it. And he was having a lot of success throwing it because they were presenting looks that you would want to throw it against, one-on-ones and stacked boxes. But when they start doing that same thing and then dropping, it sort of makes you think that you should throw it, but then realize you should have run it. So what they probably need to do is adjust faster, maybe getting the play call out quicker so you're not letting the defense sort of dictate one look, change another. A big part of the discussion that we're hearing this week about how long it takes for them to get the play call in and the play call executed. So I don't think they need a major fix, John. I think they need to figure out the running game, and some of that has, been hampered by the offensive line not being fully healthy, but that doesn't mean you can't run the ball. I'm sure that they've got to figure that part out and then just get that balance back in their offense. That's their identity, to be able to run the ball and then work off that. And I think the biggest reason, we could talk about whether someone's seeing it or not or play calling, but really the biggest reason or difference with offense this year is that they're just not running the ball effectively.
Right. I've seen some social media activity. A lot of people saying they miss Mekhi Becton. We know that in the running game, he was a road paver. Is the difference between Steen and Becton that big, or is this just because guys aren't healthy and the other guys aren't producing?
I think it's somewhat fair. We're 5 games into that, right? I think there are some things in pass pro that Steen does better. He's more athletic with footwork. But, yeah, there were times last year I remember where Becton, just by being extremely massive, would just take out whether it's a linebacker or a 3 technique, whatever, and make this big hole for Saquon Barkley. So I think that when you talk about the lack of a home run, I'm sure that there's a part of that. But also, I think when you look at it overall, Cam Jurgens, I saw that he talked to Jeff McClain after the game, and he said he's not 100% yet from the back surgery. That's a work in progress. And then Dickerson is clearly not 100% from his surgeries, and he's had other ailments as well, back, ankle. Lane Johnson's been in and out. So it's not the same caliber of offensive play right now that they were getting last year. I think the Becton thing is a part of it, but I think we can just say if you put Becton in, took Steen out, that all of a sudden you're going to see the Eagles running for 158, 200 yards a game again.
All right, Inside the Birds, this is Jeff Mosher. You can check out the YouTube. Also, you can check the guys out on YouTube. I believe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get new content out there, Jeff?
Oh, man, we got 4 to 5 shows a day. I'm not involved in all of them, but we have shows involving other people. But, yeah, Inside the Birds platform. I write for Philly Voice and the sports editor there. I have a story coming out later today that breaks down Jalen Hurts versus blitz versus traditional coverage like we just talked about and in comparison to, how the Eagles are doing against these teams.
Great stuff, Jeff. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, Johnny. Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. There he is, Jeff Mosher. Excellent job. I mean, lots have been made of the offensive line, and rightfully so. I did say I don't buy the Mekhi Becton thing. Like, oh, it's Becton. That's why they can't run the ball. I think Becton did a good job last year. I haven't watched one game where I thought, man, Steen isn't very good. I think Steen's actually been really good.
I think he's been fine. I mean, I think there is a drop-off there, but I think the biggest thing, he mentioned Jeff McClain. Cam Jurgens just offered up 60% when he was talking to him. That was the percentage he offered out there. Like, sometimes you got to play at 60%. Why is 60% the number?
60% is barely passing.
Yeah. Why is that the number?
Man, 60%, you're gutting it out to play.
Right. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like he just offered up 60% to Jeff McClain is like, oh, yeah, sometimes you got to play at 60%. It's like, is that how you feel right now? Or are you worked up to 60%? Does that mean week one you were at, like, yeah. That's not just something you just offer up for no reason.
On top of Dickerson, who had knee surgery weeks ago, and he's missed time at practice because of his back. On top of Lane Johnson, who has exited games because of the stinger that he had.
Yeah. Today's Phillies, but there's a legitimate question. Would you play Landon Dickerson Thursday night?
Yeah, is he gonna be ready? I mean, I don't think you can look at this game as, it's the Giants will crush them. You could lose this game.
You could
lose this game. You show up and you have a half where you let the Giants get a lead. They can get after the quarterback. And, the matchup with the offensive line where the Eagles' offensive line is right now, you can't be predictable throwing the ball. This team cannot be predictable throwing the ball. That's where they're at their worst. All right, we're going to get back to some Phillies lines here, 610-632-0975. We'll go heavy text line as well coming up. What else do we have coming up here live from Rally House, sir, right?
Yeah, we've got a certain play in the game to me that we haven't talked a ton about today. I think we mentioned in the opening hour, but to me, this was the turning, man, they're just not going to figure it out today moment. And it's not that ninth inning. I can tell you it's not that ninth inning. We'll dive into that moment and what it means for the man that was on the wrong side of it.
That's coming up next. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. Don't go anywhere.
The Fanatic's Andrew DiCecco, the Philadelphia Inquirer's Jeff McClain, and ESPN's Tim McManus. The best Eagles minds in the city, keeping you informed. With Marks, with John Marks and Ray Dunn.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, we are back live at Rally House, Springfield, as we have some NFL breaking news. Let's go to the update desk. Here's Ray Dunn.
Ian Rappaport reporting that the Bengals are trading for Joe Flacco, baby. The Bengals season is saved, Cincinnati rejoices, and Joe Flacco adds another team to the legacy.
Are they 2? Because you called this. You said, how do you keep Joe Flacco's starts alive?
Yes.
Are they 2-3? 2-2?
2-3 feels
2
right.
and 3.
That's a feel facts, though. I'll get the actual number.
They got a win with Burrow healthy, and then they got that first win, I think, with
because it was like, oh, wow, Browning's really good at this.
And
then
it
wasn't.
Not. No, he's not.
Yeah, 2-3.
Yeah, so the season is still
alive.
That division stinks, at least right now.
Yeah.
Flacco can do more. At least he's going to keep you in games.
Right,
What Browning can't.
Yeah.
And I have fantasy implications on that team, so I'm all for it.
Oh, so you care about who's throwing the football around? That's what you're saying.
I just can't have Chase Brown not being able to do anything, which is essentially where
I mean, if you look at the AFC right now, they're 8th. They're a game behind the Patriots for the last playoff spot. I know we're 5 games in looking at the standings here, but like you tell yourself, this defense stinks. Our quarterback right now stinks. Why not? Why not go Joe Flacco?
I was wondering. I thought Russell Wilson would make a lot of sense. They probably don't want to pay him, and he has a lot of incentives, and the Bengals are notoriously cheap. Because, I mean, what's a better story, Joe Flacco or Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson throwing the deep ball. He's great at throwing the deep ball, and you have a number of wide receivers that.
Forget Russell Wilson. I go somewhere else in that roster. Give me famous Jameis.
Yeah, they
just
want to
throw the ball up in the air and see what happens with Jamar Chase.
They want to win games, though.
Throw the ball up in the air. 50-50 ball, Jamar Chase.
I'd rather have.
No, Joe Flacco's probably safe.
I would rather have Joe Flacco than Jameis Winston.
Yeah, but I want it for fun. I don't care.
No,
what happens in Cincinnati.
It's a bit. Yeah, you want a bit.
I don't care. I've been very on the record about my disdain for Cincinnati. Screw them. I mean, I hope they suffer. What they tried to do with Kyle Schwarber was Bush League. And if they take him from us this offseason.
So you're going total city. You're going outside of the Reds.
Yeah, no, screw them. Absolutely. And the Reds didn't help us at all. Just rolled over and died against the Dodgers. Thanks a lot for that. We didn't get their Game 4 starter, Game 1.
They were just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Ray Dunn.
Well, screw that.
They were. All right. What else? What you had mentioned something about the game.
Oh yeah. So 6th inning. This was to me where I was like, yeah, you were given a moment. Bryce Harper was given a moment, an opportunity to give us a moment, and it just didn't happen here. So we're in the 6th inning. Snell's still in here. You get the Turner walk. You get the Schwarber walk. 2 on, 1 out. Bryce Harper, and here's how it sounded.
Best arm of the outfield is in center field with Pajes. Turner, great speed at second base. And Harper, a swing at him as he struck him out. Snell goes back to the slider. What a big K that was.
And I guess you're respecting the fact that there's fastball there, but you saw 5 sliders in 6 pitches.
Yep.
It's a tough pitch to hit. Snell's really good. I'm not trying to downplay that, but you just kind of grew to expect. You think back to Bedlam at the Bank. You think back to, he's got the 1,000-something playoff OPS. Like, all right, here it is. Let's break it open here. Luzardo's pitching out of his mind. It's the bottom of the 6th. At some point they're going to have to turn this over to the bullpen. When Harper strikes out there, then you get the Bohm fielder's choice. Then you go to the top of the 7th, you allow the 4 runs. To me, that was moment, the spot. That was the spot. We can all get upset about the 9th inning, but that was the spot for the star to show up, and he didn't.
Yeah, I go if I'm locked into a game, I'm saying it was like what would have happened with the Bohm at bat, where there's a runner on first. Are you throwing him a fastball here, right? Like 3-2. It was a 3-2 count. And it's like, I didn't think a fastball was coming. He was swinging fastball. Good pitch, really good pitch. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
But that's one of the ones where, is this where he's trying to do too much because he knows he's Bryce Harper?
Yeah.
And it's tough because he knows that people are looking at him and saying, bro, we need you right now. We need you. And that was a huge spot in the game. You get momentum, you go up. Now, they could have very easily went out that next half inning and given up 4 runs like they did.
Yeah, they could have. that still could have happened that way. But even a base hit, Turner comes home, scores, it's 1-0. The energy in that place is going to go nuts. They're going to have everyone at your back. Bohm's going to come up, and Bohm has been talking about trying too hard. And, all right, Harper gets the base hit, drives home a run. Bohm goes up there a little bit loose. Hey, we've got the lead. Harper came through. Let me do my thing. Like that's what flips there. That's the moment that flips for you. It didn't end up happening. Obviously, you're disappointed with it, but I think that's emblematic of what you've seen of them the last 2 postseasons. You've waited for one of the stars to do something for you. Even go back to the end of that Diamondback series. I mean, the end of that series and the last 2 series you've been in, you've been waiting for that signature moment, and no one's provided it for you.
And that's a lot of games.
Yeah, it's decent.
We're not just going back to last year. We're going back to the following year.
Yeah,
it's a lot of games. Get some text ready for us. Let's go to Lance. Lance is calling from Arizona. Lance, go ahead. How are you?
All right. So a couple things. I'm going to go into the bullpen first, and then go into the lineup. So with the bullpen, I've asked Ray this question before. Who do you trust in that bullpen to get the job done? Right now, you have Duran, and that might be the only guy out there that you actually trust. So any move Rob Thompson makes, you're going to be clenching up because you don't know if they can get it done, which goes back to the offseason. You spent $10 million on a guy who had an elbow problem and wasn't good before the elbow problem last year. You spent $5 million on Joe Ross, who's not even on the team. You just thought Perkering was going to make the jump because he's going to make the jump, and he didn't. And then on top of all that, Alvarado got suspended. But Alvarado was not good last year after they went to London and in the playoffs. So there was a chance, even though he started off the season well, that he was just going to revert back to it. All your eggs were put in, I'm going to hope these guys do that, and let 2 of my better relievers just walk away.
Yeah, Lance, it's a great point. I appreciate the phone call. A lot of times during a season, somebody emerges. It was Hoffman the one year you picked up off waivers. He turned into a dominant late inning reliever. Other times it's an internal candidate. This year, no one really took that step, and they were bringing in every veteran guy that was pitching in the minors.
They were making it Monco too. Meza, Trevino, they won. All those Montgomery County guys get a chance for a homecoming this year.
And I was a part of the Joe Ross Hive. He did not. They ended up releasing him. That's how much of a.
It's all right. I was part of the Romano Revival tour.
Right, and that didn't work out. So Dombrowski had a couple of swings and misses right there. But Lance brings up some good points.
I feel for Lance today. Lance is one of those, like, a Sunday when I'm doing after the Phillies game ends calls, and like
Lance is angry.
It's just fired up about it like all season long. Like I can imagine the deflation today for Lance.
Yeah.
Like I feel for him.
Lances.
Top 3 Lances. Lance Berkman.
Good one. Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong, really good one. Really strong choice. Tough miss might be there. Right now, I have a little brain cramp because I'm thinking about Trey Lance, and he doesn't make the top 3 of anything.
But he's notable.
Yeah, he's a notable Lance.
Trey Lance is a good one because that's the last name.
Lance from Arizona might crack my top 3.
Lance from Arizona, you make the top 3.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Lance, I got Lance a lot.
Sir Lancelot?
Sir Lancelot.
That's Sir Mix-a-Lot, not Sir Lancelot.
No, Sir Lancelot, right? That's a guy.
Is it?
Yeah, from some sort of story, right? I'm not crazy here.
From a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, top 3.
Do you have any texts here? Can I get some good texts?
The bunt was the absolute correct. This is a text, by the way. I don't want anyone to put this on my as to my voice. The bunt was the absolute correct call in that situation. The managerial decision that was forgot was to pinch run for Cassidy. That changes the outcome of the game.
Well, no. But the bunt there, I think, is a loser decision, but you're playing for a tie at home, which I totally disagree with, and we've talked about this. The problem with the second part is the saying not pinch running for Castellanos. Who are you pinch running? Who's coming in?
Yeah, at that point, it's Weston Wilson, and then if Bader gets a hit, it's Marshawn running for him. You've emptied the bench, and your defense is going to look crazy if you just tie.
Yeah, no, you can't. You literally can't. There's nothing you can do, and there's no starting pitcher you're putting in there. No, like, unfortunately, because the Bader injury really hurt you. He was able to come in and bat. We actually talked about it yesterday, and it worked out. He got a hit.
Dude, it did.
But you had to save somebody to pinch run for him. And was the bunt the dumbest decision in the world? It was a coward move. It was a coward move.
I was playing for a tie. They were very, very honest.
They sure were.
They were very honest about it. That topper was very honest with us.
610-632-0975. More text coming out. Any more good text there?
Well, we've gotten to this point of the day. We got a texter that was upset about missing Rhys Hoskins. It's been torture since. And we got Tim in Mount Holly asking if the Phils should try and trade Harper. So we've hit that portion of the program.
Yeah, because firing's too easy. To fire everybody's too easy. But trading Bryce Harper, we're there.
Yeah. I mean, firing was 10 o'clock. Now we're getting to the, all right, every player's got to go. Rhys Hoskins would led them to the promised land. That's where we're at. I don't blame people today. You throw whatever you want at us. Tell me that I should be sent somewhere. I don't care at this point. I'm so broken.
All right, well, what's the reaction to the Phillies spirit animal? Vic Fangio. the world's biggest Phillies fan. He had his comments before his press conference on what's going on with the Phillies. We have that for you coming up next. Text, phone calls. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
They lost the game. I'm right done with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night. They're now down 2-0 in the series. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, got into the seventh, ran into some trouble. They went to Ryan Kirkland with runners on. Matt Strahm came in after him, but all ended up being 4 runs in the seventh. The Phillies got a run at the eighth. Then the ninth put up 2 runs, had nobody out. Nick Castellanos on second base had decided to bunt. Castellanos thrown out at third. They were not able to scratch across that tying run. They lose the game 4-3. After the game, Rob Thompson defended that decision to bunt, decision not to pinch run for Castellanos, and let us know a little surprise in store for Game 3.
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
That's right. Aaron Nola getting the start for Game 3 in Los Angeles Wednesday night at 9:08. Elsewhere in Philadelphia sports, the Eagles preparing for the Giants on Thursday night. They didn't practice yesterday, but in the practice injury report that came out, there was an estimation both Saquon Barkley and Landon Dickerson appeared on it, as did not participate. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department store where you can find looks all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what you'll find. Find location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
Behind?
Correct.
I'm saying.
Oh.
It's a best of 5. They haven't gotten to 3 yet.
That's true. Nola?
What do you mean, no?
Nola's pitching game 3.
Oh, is he? He probably quit cook and put Ranger in there.
Oh, is he? All of a sudden, he's not quite as confident. Vic Fangio today before his...
I got a good feeling about this one. Oh, Nola's on the mound? Well, he's got to have a quick hook.
Can we hear that part again, Sean? Oh, is he? No, he's like, what? Nola? What? Oh, is he? You got it.
Oh.
It's a best of 5. They haven't gotten to 3 yet.
That's true. Nola?
What do you mean, no?
Nola's pitching game 3.
Oh, is he? He probably quit cook and put Ranger in there.
Quick hook. He's confident till Nola's mentioned. Huh?
Oh, man.
Is he? Oh, quick hook.
Go play that one for Thompson. Could you go play that one for Rob? Do you see what you're doing to Vic Fangio?
Poor Vic, he just broke his heart. If they come out and they lay an egg against the Giants, Rob Thompson did this to us.
That's exactly it.
Fangio's, he's up at night. He can't sleep because of this. And by the way, can't blame Patullo for what happened with the Phillies. I know a lot of people want to try.
Yeah. The offense isn't
Thompson.
working. The offense isn't working.
Rob
It's got to be the
Thompson's
offensive
fault.
coordinator.
Yep, Rob Thompson. I'm telling you. I'm blaming him.
Oh, man.
Vic Fangio. Shout out to Eric from Malvern who just stopped by.
Good to see Eric.
First time, long time. And then Father Sean came by. There he is.
Yeah, he's trying to make me go to confession. I said I have a lot to confess. I'm very sorry.
We could... Yeah.
Try to make my grandmother proud. You know,
Granny.
Probably concerned about me.
Hey, Granny. So there you go. So you have that. What else did we say we were going to talk about here?
We were going to, go the whole Fangio's trying to fire up the crowd here with the. They haven't won 3 yet. I love the confidence of Vic Fangio, but he sounds like the first 3 letters of his last name, a fan. He sounds very, very excited about still being able to watch his baseball team and maybe not living in the reality of the situation.
A fan and also a coach who knows that it's not over. And all they do need to do is get that first win. And I agree with that. I'm not going to do that today. That will probably be tomorrow until you tell me Aaron Nola's starting. And I was like, what about Nola?
Yeah, yeah, very confident. Oh, Nola's starting? Well, quick hook for that guy.
Can we hear the question and answer of Nola with Matt Gelb?
Oh yeah,
how Matt Gelb is questioning Nola like an annoyed parent.
Rob Thompson, the starter.
Rob Thompson announcing that it will not be Ranger Suarez. It will be Aaron Nola. In particular, take a listen to Matt Gelb with the questioning.
Will Ranger start game 3?
It'll be Aaron Nola with Ranger behind him.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Nola's never pitched out of the pen, so how long he goes, I don't know. But and I trust him.
Is there something health-wise with Suarez right now?
No, nothing.
It's honestly the second question following what's the reasoning, because it's like, okay. What could possibly be the reason?
Yeah.
Is there something wrong health-wise? Ranger Suarez not feel like it?
You can hear the wheels churning in his head like, well, that makes no sense. Is he injured?
Yeah.
And then Rob's like, no, he's fine. That makes perfect sense then.
By the way, coming up at 2:00, Bill's going to take credit for that question. You know it. Bill's going to be like, well, I've been the one that said he was hurt.
But I don't think he's hurt.
I know, but he's going to take credit for the fact that Gelb went to health is the concern.
Well, I mean, Bill on the show yesterday said he thinks Aaron Nola's going to start game 3, and he's absolutely positively correct.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
I don't think it's because of health, though. I think it's because they've totally mismanaged this whole freaking situation.
Yep.
A guy who probably should have been starting game 2, although Luzardo was great last night. He was great last night, but you could make the case he should have started game 2. And the reasoning for not starting him in game 2 was they wanted to use him out of the bullpen, and he's versatile, and he's got stones and everything else. Now they're going to start him in game 3, a deciding game. Yeah, let's put Aaron Nola out there with his 6 ERA to face Ohtani to start the game.
Does he make it to the RAB 4th inning?
No.
3 innings?
Well, how many times does he? I mean, he's going around the order once, and then you start thinking about bringing Suarez in.
Aaron Nola is an opener for an elimination game.
He is. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
So here's the one way I can galaxy brain this.
Yep.
They have been, with the starting of the left-handed pitcher, able to go Betts, Teoscar back-to-back 2-3 in the lineup. I don't know if this is enough, Aaron Nola in his 2025 form, enough to break up those 2 in the lineup to bring Freddie back up to 3, but it does make it easier later on for your bullpen. for the lefty to come in and have to face Ohtani, Betts, and then Freeman. Betts hasn't been particularly great against left-handers.
Nope.
Maybe maybe you're trying to play the chess of like Roberts is going to flinch and change his lineup. I mean, they could be looking that deep into it.
I don't think they are. I literally think we don't think Ranger can give us much length in a game, and you're not going to bring Aaron Nola out of the pen.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's the only way I can justify this. I mean, I can't justify it given the numbers. Like, just look at the two of them. I can't justify it all. But that's the justification I can run out in my head of like, oh, let's see if we'll break up those two righties in the lineup, make it easier for us when we have to bring in a lefty to face Ohtani.
I don't know the dynamic because we know analytics is a big part of MLB front offices. If this is a unilaterally Rob Thompson decision, this is what I'm doing. If this is something that's being done in conjunction with Dave Dombrowski, but if this is Rob Thompson's decision to start Aaron Nola and he gets shelled, he shouldn't even come back on. Like he's losing his job.
Yeah,
his job already feels like it's teetering on. He's losing it.
Yeah, I mean he needs what basically Fangio said. Like they need to come off the mat here and win like 2 games. Even then, though. To be tough to justify with the fact that you lost 2 games and there were very, very questionable decisions made within those 2 games. It's a precarious situation for the guy.
Correct. Some breaking NFL news. CJGJ signing with the Baltimore Ravens.
Hell yeah, man. They started 5 rookies on their defense last week, so good for CJGJ. He'll get some playing time.
Good for him?
Yeah, good for him. I mean, I want him to get a job. I was a CJGJ guy.
I mean... He was good.
Yeah,
he was an impact player, but that has now been more or less. We don't want this guy here anymore. Beat it.
Right. Well, I mean, at some point, I mean, what you're now 5th different team. At some point, you got to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, man, maybe this is me." Yeah, I would think. Like at some point, you got to be like, "Oh, by the way, Sir Lancelot was in King Arthur's court." We found that a text line wanted us to know that. So.
Other notable Lances: Lance Stevenson, the former Pacer.
Ooh, big miss by us on that one.
Lance, is it Bass or Bass from NSYNC? I don't know is it Bass? Well, it's the guy from NSYNC. It's Bass though. It's not Bass because sometimes BASS can be Bass. Lance Allworth, the Hall of Fame wide receiver. Lance Parrish, the former Philly. He was a flop when the Phillies signed him. And Lance Ito. Judge Lance Ito, who presided over the O.J. Simpson double murder trial.
There you go. Wow.
Let's go to Angry Al. Angry Al, checking in. Angry Al, how are you today, buddy? What's going on?
Johnny Marks.
Al, how are you?
I'm
Yeah, I hear
you. I don't care who pitches. Because if they don't come up with some hits, it's not going to matter.
Yep. It's true. Oh, by the way, Angry Al they're winning the World Series, 10 out of 10 confidence that they're winning this series. Your thoughts, Al?
They still got a chance.
Yeah, I tried to get Al to do a mustache shave his mustache if the Phillies didn't win, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Al, and it's probably not something that we've talked about enough. We've talked about it, but everything's being native the bunt. Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Kyle Schwarber have come up small. Not even just small. They've been pathetic.
Very small.
In this series. Yeah, pathetic.
Yeah, very small. And Trey Turner, he's a professional hitter, and now he acts like he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, I don't know if that injury, but he's back playing, so he should be playing.
Well, I mean, he's playing. He's just unfortunately like he got the hit in the 8th inning. So it's but when he came up and grounded out, ended the game. And by the way, good play by Freddie Freeman to dig that out and stay on the base. I mean, Jesus,
load of crap. That guy
almost gave it up. But yeah, these stars are paid big money to come up in big spots, and these guys, they haven't done it for a couple seasons.
Wait, and Castellanos, how does he get thrown out there? You got to watch where the ball's going.
Oh, got to read better on the base paths.
Yeah, you've been playing baseball since you're 8 years old. Come on.
All right, Al. Rest, ice up, rest up. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. All right, see ya. So CJGJ signed with the practice squad, and that's what a lot of teams do. They initially sign them to the practice squad, then they can elevate them for game days, and then they have to make a decision whether to sign him.
So they'll get like 3 weeks. It gets elevated. If he looks good, someone at the end of 53 loses their job.
If he's fighting with everybody, then they just release him. And
yeah, I mean, it's really no downside for them. No, they stink right now. They stink out loud. They're very bad. I mean, they're hurt. It hurts that they're hurt, but
it does hurt.
They are still the favorite, though, on some sports books to win that division, which I don't know if that says more about the lack of confidence in the Steelers, the fact that Burrow's hurt, and the Browns have been the Browns. But that's amazing. You're 1-4 and still the favorite to win your division.
I think it means that they expect to bounce back, and Lamar Jackson will be back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, they've been, I mean, so far so good with the Steelers. Yeah. Considering you have a 40-year-old quarterback. All right, coming up, I have the odds for tomorrow night's Phillies and Dodgers game. How big of underdogs are they? We know they're not going to be favored in the game, but we'll give you the betting line on the game tomorrow night, and we'll wrap up with some texts and some phone calls. Don't go anywhere. This is live from Rally House in Springfield. This is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Attention, Delaware Valley, 97.5.
All right, we'll do some text here. We're live at Rally House in Springfield. Shout out to Eric and Olivia providing support here. Thank you very much. Vito, he's got the YouTube channel. Jen Scordo, thank you very much. All the wonderful people here at Rally House. And if you haven't made it out today, they're all over the place. RallyHouse.com is how you get there.
This is a beautiful one. Really. Massive.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I've never been to a Rally House where you're not impressed with how much stuff they have.
Yeah, and I mean, we're spoiled because the first Rally House that I was around was one in Collegeville, and the one in Collegeville is tremendous. And, you know, if you a young guy just walking around the Providence Town Center, you always stopped in the Rally House. That was always stopped in there, stopped in Wegmans, got food.
Dude, I'm telling you, when Rally House first came out, I used to grab the hoodies, the Eagles hoodies from there, and every time it'd be like, people like, where did you get that from? Because there were I'm not going to mention any other sporting good places, but you know the ones I'm talking about. And you would get the biggest cookie cutter Eagles hoodie, Philly stuff or whatever. And Rally House totally changed the apparel game. It really did.
The Kelly Green one I wore when we did the broadcast from the parade, I got from the Rally House down Temple's campus. And that Rally House, I mean, it was totally picked over at that point because it was right the day after the Super Bowl. Everyone came in to get their stuff for the parade. And I found a really nice sweatshirt. And so many people asked me since, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? And I just saw it actually back there in the corner while I was eyeing up some apparel. So you can get it here at Springfield. If you like the way I looked at the parade, if you remember what I looked like at the parade.
I'm sure
lots of people do. Mike Vito does. There's the one. There's always one.
I'm scrambling to try to find I don't know if you know, I was featured in one of the Eagles Amazon things. I wasn't actually featured, but I was in it. My voice was in it. And then when they're running the credits, I'm on the back. I was fortunate enough to be on the parade float.
Oh.
During the parade in calendar year 18.
Yeah, wow.
And I was wearing it was cold as hell that day. I was wearing a hoodie from Rally House. I still have it. I mean, it's almost going.
There you go.
Years,
well, yeah, people probably remember how you looked because you were on the parade float.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But in this, so when credits are running, and I can't find it right now, of course, because I'm looking on the air, but when the credits are running, there's a picture of me, and I'm wearing the Rally House thing. So there you go. And unlike maybe some online apparel places, it doesn't fall apart when you wash it. It's proof because you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
So, so definitely check out rallyhouse.com to get all of your stuff. All right, let's go to a couple phones, get some text messages there. Our buddy Jim in Cheltenham, the archivist of 97.5 The Fanatic. Jim, how are you, buddy? What's going on?
I'm all right today. I'm looking at the Phillies last night. Anytime you have a hole in that team, and you can get away with it in the regular season, but you will not get away with it in the postseason. It will show up every time, and the depth of that bullpen just shows up in these two games.
It does. And, Jim, we talked about it when I was announced coming back to the station. I talked to Ricky and Bill about it, and they said, we've talked about this. What is your biggest issue with this team? And I'm like, the bullpen. It's how you going to get to Durant. Because really, it's like, who's pitching the 6th? Who's pitching the 7th? Who's pitching the 8th? And I appreciate it, Jim. In the playoffs, you don't have Zach Wheeler. So, and this is something we said on the show about Chris Sanchez. He ain't going 7 or 8 innings. And you saw it. He got 2 outs in the 6th, and everything blew up from there. So, but it's not just that. The other worries were the offense goes cold. Oh, what do you know? The offense went cold. The manager's going to make bad decisions. Oh, look what Bob Thompson's done. And then you have the bullpen blowing up as well. So all
Dave
three
Roberts,
things,
man.
Dude, that's how you're down 2 games to none. And on the brink.
Mm-hmm. Dave Roberts outmanaged you.
And Dave Roberts has legitimately outmanaged you. Legitimately.
How? What are we? I know we won the World Series last year. I know he did, but
what have we become?
He tried. He tried to hand you that game last night. He really did. He's like, yeah, Blake, try. You go get it right, and it just didn't happen, and you didn't win that game. And that's yeah. I mean, we've said it. I mean, these were the concerns going in. The bullpen, and it totally changes. Like the dynamic, I don't know what they would have done rotation wise had Wheeler been healthy. You know, probably went Wheeler, Sanchez. You would think if Luzardo was your Game 2 starter, he would have been Game 3 starter, but Luzardo would have been that high-gas lefty out of the pen if they wanted him to be. You know, because you have 2 lefties that are kind of, Banks, I think, is more the swing and miss stuff, but he's not high gas. He's more a little bit more crafty. Then when you look at Strom and what he is, I mean, he's just a magician in the way he can get guys out with his stuff. Like, he just kind of comes after you. And that's why he's good in the clean innings. And that could have been, Luzardo could have been the weapon from the left-hand side out of the pen. Maybe you just had Ranger defined into a bullpen role instead of this whole, we got to start him, we're not going to start him. I don't know. I mean, There's 1,000 different ways you can look at it. What if. What is you're down 2-0.
That's all that matters right now. There's the picture, by the way. There I am.
Oh, look at you. Oh, that is a nice sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Right here at Rally House. All right, let's go to Sam. Sam's calling from Houston. Houston, Texas. Sam, what's going on, man? How are you? Hello, Sam.
Sam,
I am? I don't know if Sam's not there.
Sam, I am not there.
Do you have any, do we have good texts?
Yeah, we get some
to end the
texts.
program?
Yeah, we got some people that have, we've kind of gone from angry to, I don't want to say sarcastic, but it has taken kind of like the just kind of losing our mind type tone to this. And this is a lose your mind kind of text. Kyle from Bethlehem. The only thing that can save the Philly season now is if Bryce releases his playoff rivalry series merch and wears Dodger blue cleats in Game 3.
Not a bad idea. Can he make his homemade Gatorade? Remember he was TikToking right before
before the season,
before the spring training started. Got a little homemade Gatorade. We saw all his probably his home remedies too and things like that.
Yeah. Chris from Plymouth Meeting. I don't like playing for a tie, but also let's not get crazy. You do not trade Bryce Harper. That is nuts.
Well, I mean they're not
going to do it.
They're not trading Bryce Harper, nor should they. But it doesn't mean that he shouldn't be stepping up.
Now we have someone that. This is, again, where we're at as a fan base. Scott Fransky's getting blamed. Bedlam at the Bank was a curse to Bryce Harper by Scott Fransky. It is Bedlam at the Bank, and he may never hit a bigger one. Think about it. What has he done since?
Okay, so hold on. I have to compile my list because the biggest issues why they're down 2-0. It's crowd noise, 1, not loud enough. 2, Scott Fransky. And then you have hitting the manager in the bullpen. 3, 4, 5. I do blame Scott. I'm going to text him right now, actually. He probably landed in Los Angeles. He's probably there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
We do have it, and this is interesting. If we want to go down the tin hat that Colarulo is wearing nowadays with Suarez's health, someone said that, and this is interesting for the press, the next question for Rob Thompson, when was the last time Ranger Suarez threw off a mound? If he insists on him being healthy, I guess if we wanted to go down the health route, I don't think he's.
Honestly, it makes too much. I mean, has he thrown bullpens or anything like that? I've heard absolutely nothing about Ranger Suarez.
I have to imagine he has.
So is he thrown in 3 weeks and he's going to get out there? That sounds good. Sounds like a good idea. It's weird. Dude, they have mismanaged this situation so epically bad. Oh, my God.
Martin and Broomall. So here are the options. Get swept, get gentlemen swept, force Game 5 and lose again at home, or somehow pull off miracle. That bunt killed the season. Topper is done.
I'd prefer they just get swept rather than losing 4, because that's going to demand that they make changes. Because they need to make changes. If they lose in 3 or they lose in 4, it doesn't change anything. Wholesale changes need to be made, and there's only so much you can do because you're so pot committed to this roster and to this team. But like Topper, listen, dude, you did a great job. I'm a fan. I am. A new voice needs to come in here. Right? Kevin Long, hitting coach. The guys can't hit. Is it your fault? Guess what happens when guys can't hit? Hitting coach loses his job.
This was therapeutic.
Do you feel better?
No. But it was therapeutic. You can't solve all the problems in one session.
But I feel like after doing a show, now I can officially turn the page, and I'll get into the mindset of focusing on Game 3.
That's good. So 4 hours of Aaron Nola starting the game that could end the season.
Tomorrow I will be making a case for the Phillies winning. I can tell you that because I feel really, really good about it.
I look forward to it. I hope it's compelling.
All right, I don't feel really, really good about it, but I'm going to try. Thanks, everybody, here at Rally House. Coming up next, Unfiltered. See ya.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Season on the brink. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 4-3 last night, falling behind 2-0 in the National League Divisional Series. Jesus Luzardo pitched well, retiring 17 straight batters at one point, but between Ryan Kirker, and Matt Strom, the Phillies allowed 4 runs in the 7th. The Phillies scratched across a run in the 8th, and then a pair of runs in the 9th.